Smooth waters for Baylor so far, just drowning teams in their wake by more than 30 points per game. You know what November in the Big 12 means. Docking the boat gets a little bit trickier. Need all of the oars out, life preservers ready, because plenty of teams are going to try to provide stormy seas. It is a no-wake zone on the Brazos, but you know there are opponents ready to make waves. And today, Baylor hopes to make a point, or a whole bunch of them, to the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. The Big 12 is filled with opportunities to prove yourself, and it is rife with elimination games. Baylor's had Oklahoma's number lately, and it has been a big number. This is the next step on a November to remember in the Big 12 as College Game Day sets sail from Waco.
ESPN College Game Day. We're coming to your city.
Good morning, Waco.
Yeah.
On the edge of your seat, breaking down the matchup with powerhouse speech.
With Reese, Corso, Des, David, and Kirk, you know ESPN is putting in that work. Like fourth and goal, get ready to play. It's time to kick off College Game Day.
And we're coming to your city. If you want a little bang in your yin yang, if you want a little zang in your zang zang, if you want a little ching in your chang chang, come along, come along, come along.
College Game Day, live from Waco, Texas, is built by the Home Depot, proud sponsor of college football's premier pregame show.
They call this place the Palace on the Brazos. McLean Stadium, home of the Baylor Bears, a house in which Baylor has never lost. A perfect 10-0 overall. They've got a 20-game home winning streak, best in the nation. Nobody scores more points, nobody gobbles up more yards, and nobody does it faster than Baylor. And all of these people know what you're thinking at home. All of you cynics saying, yeah, all of the numbers put up against nobody's in college football. You know what? That changes starting tonight with Oklahoma coming into Waco, including the Sooners. The next three opponents for the Bears, a combined 25-2. Art Briles likes to call it a prove-it day. This is a prove-it day not only for Baylor, but also for visiting Oklahoma. Glad to have you with us in Waco. College Game Day rolling in the Big 12. Reese Davis, Desmond Howard, Lee Corso, and Kirk Herbstreit. You know, they've only allowed dancing on this campus for a little less than 20 years. I'm going to tell you, when Baby Mac was playing earlier, people were dancing about
They've come a long way.
They're excited about football, I think is what it is. And, you know, while you look at the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, and the Big 12 doesn't have a team in the top 5, according to our Football Power Index, this is number 1 against number 2.
Is that right?
Number 1, Baylor number 2.
Wow.
Big time game tonight.
You're not kidding me. Oklahoma and Baylor have beaten 5 common opponents. The only difference is Oklahoma's defense has allowed 57 points less than the Bears. Huge advantage, Oklahoma, boy.
I mean, he comes right out of the gate.
I know, right? You see that?
Right out of the gate.
Just trying to keep him from
Didn't
dancing.
even wait. He didn't even wait. I just think it's great that we're here. We've been talking about the entire season about the Big 12 in November, and this is where these teams finally get an opportunity to show the committee and to show America how the Big 12 plays football. It's a showcase opportunity for both Baylor and Oklahoma, and this is just the beginning, Des, because next week we have Baylor and Oklahoma State, and it just keeps tracking these next 4 weeks.
Yeah, really exciting weeks to come for the Big 12. I'm happy to be here because of a little wide receiver they got named Corey Coleman. I mean, this guy is dynamic. We're going to talk about him later in the show, but because of what happened a week ago with Leonard Fournette and Trevon Boykin, the Heisman race is now wide open.
Yep.
He may add his name to that list, so I'm excited about this.
Those 20 touchdowns already. He's been dealing with a little bit of a tweak. They expect him to be ready to go full speed against the Sooners tonight. Now, this is the opportunity that the Big 12 teams have been waiting for because the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, you heard on Tuesday night, Jeff Long said they needed to play some stronger competition. Baylor is the highest ranked team at number 6. But Herbie, you know, you look at this, top 3 teams in the selection committee all on the road, including number 1.
Yeah, number 1 on the road in the Dome in Syracuse. Shaq Lawson and the Tigers defense continuing to play great football on that side of the ball. Wayne Gallman bringing physicality to go along with Deshaun Watson. This team's on a roll. And again, they'll be focused and ready, but Syracuse not as bad as people think, especially when they play at home.
Yeah, number 2, Bama and Stark Vegas, man. I'm going to tell you, Bama's defense, the most dominating performance a week ago I've seen all season. Bottled up Leonard Fournette. Brandon Harris only threw 6 for 19, 1 touchdown. But now they're about to come against a different monster in Dak Prescott. He can throw the ball. He can run the ball so well. Anybody got some cowbells?
Hey, number 3, Ohio State, Illinois. Cardell Jones passed for 1 touchdown and ran for another, and the Buckeyes held off Minnesota. Today, J.T. Barrett gets his start at the quarterback. In the last 3 games against Illinois, Ohio State has scored 161 points. Hello.
Number 4, Notre Dame's at home. Josh Adams going to carry the load in all likelihood with C.J. Prosise hurting. You know, Deshaun Kaiser got his first scholarship offer in D1 from Dave Clawson, now the coach at Wake Forest. Clawson's going to have to rely on defense because his team has never beaten a Power 5 team, Herbie, when they score a touchdown.
Playing for the Hog today, Minnesota at Iowa. C.J. Beathard, boy, he's brought a different dimension to the Hawkeyes offense. But Minnesota with Tracy Claeys now, no longer the interim head coach, really played inspired on the defensive side of the ball. This is another game where Iowa at home could be challenged by the pesky Gopher D.
Oklahoma and Baylor. Jarrett Stidham, brilliant in his first start. We've already heard about Corey Coleman and his 20 touchdowns. He eviscerated the Sooners last year. And Zach Sanchez, who's back, wants a little redemption for that. Baker Mayfield has an offense that can help the Sooners keep up. Tom Rinaldi's with Bob Stoops on a big game day.
Coach, what did this team discover after Texas that seems to have it playing so well?
You know, it's just hard work and better execution. I think everybody just has really worked hard to continue to improve. We've gone against each other a lot in practices, good against good, and I feel like just overall, fundamentally, we've made a lot of improvement.
You mentioned good against good. Your pass defense against their ability to throw it. What's the key to that matchup in this game?
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. They've got excellent quickness, speed, and ability there. It gets down to a lot of one-on-one matchups because of their spacing and the way you have to defend their run. It's hard to play. The zone concepts become stretched, and it's still, even if you're in a zone, it's going to get down to a lot of man-on-man matchups.
We appreciate it, and good luck, Bob.
All right, Tom. Thank you.
Reese?
All right, Tom, and the Sooners have not been able to match up man against the Bears wide receivers the last few games. Now, next Saturday, as you watch this Big 12 round robin unfold, we got the doubleheader and also Thanksgiving weekend. Baylor TCU is the one everybody waited on, but it might be Bedlam that decides things. And then we'll wrap it up here in the Big 12, December 5th. Baylor, will the Bears be going for a spot in the college football playoff? You know, no Big 12 teams in the top 5, no Pac-12 teams either.
No, but we know Christian McCaffrey just keeps doing his thing. He'll have an opportunity to make a lot of plays tonight against the Oregon defense, both receiving and running. Kevin Hogan has become the all-time winningest quarterback in Stanford football history. But remember, Vern Adams and Oregon, they've rebounded, and they're scoring points. If they have any chance tonight, they'll have to outscore the Cardinals.
Also in the Pac-12, you got Utah and Arizona. Now, quarterback Anu Solomon, he played well enough, guys, last week for them to win the game, but their defense was holy, as in Swiss cheese, not the grill. USC ran for 229 yards on the ground, and I'm telling you, the Utes, they're going to have their rushing attack in full effect tonight. This is going to be a great matchup.
In the SEC, Florida's already wrapped up the East. You know, the defensive line likes to say party in the backfield. John Bullard's not going to be there. Keanu Neal's got a bad foot. Treon Harris is going to have to make some plays. South Carolina's playing with confidence. And if the Gamecocks can get Pharaoh Cooper going, Gators better be careful.
Can you imagine if Memphis would have beaten Navy, how hyped up this game would have been with Memphis on the road at Houston? Tom Herman done an amazing job in the first year with Greg Ward running and throwing, making so many plays, and Paxton Lynch. Boy, we've been talking about him all year. An opportunity to should be another game where you have a lot of points in the American. Really a big game for that conference.
No question about that. Houston has blown teams out. Memphis has made a habit of rallying from behind. There are some other games today, highly ranked teams. Oklahoma State goes back to Iowa State. We'll talk about the Cowboys coming up in a bit. Of course, their hopes of a national championship shot ruined in Ames in 2011. Michigan is on the road. TCU trying to bounce back. North Carolina, if things fall right, they can wrap up the ACC Coastal. And the Deep South's oldest rivalry, Auburn and Georgia, 119th meeting. Each side's won 55, and there have been 8 ties. Remember the last time they were there, the whole prayer and Jordan Hare thing. Maybe, I don't know if either team has a prayer right now the way things are going, but Auburn's played a little bit better, and it's a big day for Georgia as well. But that's an also ran. We've got a lot of games that are going to shape the way the selection committee looks at all of these teams.
Well, let's take a few advantages for Baylor. All right, Baylor, they have won 20 straight games in Waco. The last 4 years, they are 8-0 against top 25 teams in Waco. They beat Oklahoma twice in a row and scored 89 points in there. Now, my old question is, will this blackout they're going to have tonight, will it affect the game? I'm anxious to see it.
The blackout affect the game?
Yes, they're going to have everything's going to be black.
The noise, the noise could affect the game because Baylor is a team that thrives on momentum and with their offense and the way they attack. It'll be a challenge for Oklahoma. There are two teams today that this is really their entire offseason. They built their offense and they built their defense for games like this. The first is Bob Stoops in Oklahoma. Think about all the staff changes he made. His quarterback now, Baker Mayfield. This is a team that ran the ball predominantly a year ago with Samaje Perine, but they made some changes on offense. They made a lot of changes on defense and how they want to try to go up against these spread teams that can attack you, especially Baylor. So here's a big test. We'll see how they pass the test. And the other one, Des, to me, is Mississippi State and Alabama. Yeah. Alabama's been great. Their defense is answered the call every single week, with the exception of the Ole Miss game. And here's a team, again, that's going to spread them out. Quarterback with tempo, can run, can throw. You know, the defensive line, the adjustments, they're faster. Yeah. Linebackers are better in space. They move corners to safety. Let's see how they do today in Starkville with all those adjustments in the offseason.
No, I agree with you. You have so many heavy favorites today. It's such a long season. You just hope that in today's matchups with a lot of these guys who have been playing a lot of football, that the heavy favorites get in, get their work done, and then get out. Not leaving the starters in too long and getting people nicked up. I just hope that this is a clean week of football and that these guys take care of their business so we can move on.
You know what I've noticed? I think we've hit about 15 games, and you are locked in on this one here.
No question.
Got to get the headgear. Yes. Going in the right direction.
He's giving a couple of head fakes here.
Yeah, I know. And he's stirring the pot.
Aim high, early. Go low.
There you go.
Keep him a little off balance, right?
Yeah. Keep him off balance.
You know, as you get deep in November, you start to have rivalry games not only at the highest level of college football, but also at some other levels as well. Amherst and Williams.
Oh, yeah.
you think trivia's coming?
Yeah. Yeah. I can feel it.
Give it to us.
Something's coming. A trophy, something.
Not money.
Perhaps.
Maybe money.
Oh, are you kidding? Who are you talking to? Amherst and Williams is the biggest little game in America. It's homecoming for Williams, but Amherst, they've won 18 straight. They're 7-0 this season. Big favorite there. And you guys, I know, are ready for the Monon Bell game, right?
Yes.
The what?
You got that one, the Monon Bell?
Monon Bell.
Yeah,
Bears ready for that.
Yeah,
Bears ready for that.
Just look to the right.
Wabash to Pod, big one. Dominant rivalry so far. The last 6, like 212 to 60 or something.
212 to 50 for Wabash. Anybody know Wabash's nickname?
Indians.
It's a good try.
No idea.
It's an oxymoron. It's Little Giants.
Little Giants.
Little
It's
Giants.
in Indiana.
Like the movie. Wasn't there like a
big
movie
game
called
in
Little
Indiana.
Giants? Or something?
There was a movie called Little Giants. It was not about the Monon Bell.
not at all.
Unfortunately. Okay, so those are part of the rivalry games. We'll talk more about rivalry games later on in this edition of College Game Day as well. And we would be remiss if we didn't mention right now that certainly our thoughts and prayers are with everyone who is impacted and those who've been watching the tragic events that unfolded in Paris yesterday. And certainly we continue to offer our best wishes and thankful to our military personnel for giving us the opportunity to enjoy scenes like this and enjoy games like we'll have tonight between Oklahoma and Baylor. Of course, there's another story that has dominated much of the headlines in college football. Yesterday at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri arrived for its walkthrough after ending the boycott in advance of the Tigers game against BYU. They had threatened not to play this game in support of Missouri grad student Jonathan Butler's hunger strike, protesting the handling of racial incidents on campus at Missouri. But Missouri's season took another turn yesterday afternoon when head coach Gary Pinkel announced that this season would be his last, that he is retiring as a result of being diagnosed with lymphoma. Now, the events of this week had nothing to do, Pinkel said, with his decision to step down. He was diagnosed in the spring. During the off week, had some treatment, met with his family, and decided that this season would be his last. Maria Taylor was in Columbia, Missouri all this week and is in Kansas City as the Tigers get set to play BYU this afternoon. She's going to join us later on in College Game Day to talk about the impact Gary Pinkel's retirement had on his team. We will also discuss empowered players and what it means for college football going forward as College Game Day gets started here in Waco. BYU and Missouri as scheduled on the SEC network tonight at 7:30 Eastern Time. Inside College Game Day, former Marine Hank Goff rediscovered something he had lost when he returned to football after serving our country. And Corey Coleman, his name keeps coming up on the show. His numbers are spectacular, but what's more remarkable, his journey to become one of the premier players in the sport. And we'll salute more of the less marquee rivalries, if you will. See the Cortica jug there? Gene Wojciechowski's going to help us out with that. Monon Bell weighs 300 pounds. Locomotive Bell.
College Game Day is built by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And in part by Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich.
Bears on Boards, the official longboarding club of Baylor University, want people to skate safely. They teach people how to ride longboards too, so we should have gotten our bear on a board, bear on board.
We can still do that.
I know. Let's work that out.
Let's see if we can roll bear down there for a bear on boards opportunity. Aerial coverage in Waco provided by Goodyear. Kick off your drive with tires that return superior performance. Goodyear is more driven. A Cheez-It Real fan cam. This is a great scene. And I can tell you from all of the signs that they've paid very close attention to what Jeff Long and selection committees had to say about the criteria. And one of my favorites was a guy that asked Jeff Long to get him out of his 8 a.m. bio exam because of his body clock issue.
Oh, no.
Code 0, Section 0, the best seat in the house. All coming up here in Waco as we get set for this Big 12 showdown. David Pollock joins us here. Now this is a real opportunity for the Bears tonight to prove something.
Huge opportunity. What have we been talking about? The schedule. So now it's time. Show me.
Tonight for them.
Yeah.
You know, you have all of these.
Stinks it's November, but we're saying that. But yeah.
Why?
Well, I mean, I'd like to see them play somebody before this at some point, but.
That's a fair point. But, you know, you can't always predict how good a team's going to be. Everybody saw that Oklahoma State's schedule, for instance, was favorable, but the Cowboys still had to navigate their way to get to this point. And now a potential trap situation coming up for Oklahoma State as they go into Ames. And you know what they do. You don't just walk
into Ames.
You don't just waltz into Jack Trice Stadium in Ames, Iowa, and stroll out with a victory. Nobody knows that better than Oklahoma State, perhaps in some eyes underrated by the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, but they flash back to 2011 national championship shot in their sights. Quinn Sharp, a great field goal kicker, missed. They went to overtime. Jeff Woody ended up scoring from 4 yards out, and the upset by Iowa State in double overtime gave them the victory and kept Oklahoma State from playing for the national championship. But now you look at an Oklahoma State team that comes in riding defense of all things. Defense in the Big 12, they're top 20 in defensive efficiency. Nobody has scored more points off the turnovers forced than the Cowboys have. They want to put 2011 behind them. Mike Gundy reminds you that very few guys are even on the team anymore that experienced that disappointing night in Ames. Now they have 2 more opportunities coming if they can get past this hurdle against the Cyclones in Ames. Olivia Harlan with the Cowboys head coach.
Cowboys at Cyclones. All the talk this week has been about the 2011 Iowa State upset when, Coach, you were also undefeated. How have you addressed this with your team?
Well, we're always really honest about what goes on. There's a lot out there, and our players, they've done a good job of preparing each day, and they know each day is a different day, each game's a different game, and obviously this is a different year. But they were made aware of it, but they prepared well this week.
Right, you can't ignore it. Some of your toughest games are still ahead of you. What do you need to continue or improve to maintain your perfect record?
We worked hard in trying to improve in the running game, downfield coverage. We're a good football team. We can't take a day off, and so each game is important to us, but each practice is more important.
Thank you, Coach.
You bet, Olivia.
You know, sometimes you look at this Cowboy defense, it's tougher to navigate than Mike Gundy's coiffure right there. I mean, it stays in place. They don't move a lot. Emmanuel Ogbah has been terrific, one of the nation's leaders getting after the quarterback.
And Glenn Spencer is one of the veterans in the Big 12 and really understands the conference and how to get after it. He's got a great secondary. Stearns leads that group, a veteran group that, again, has seen a lot. When you have experience, it allows you to be in position and gives you a chance to be able to defend this conference and the athletic ability that you face week in and week out.
Extremely deep in that secondary, too. They got so many guys that can rotate in.
You know, you saw Stearns led the team in tackles. Last week when they played TCU, they faced 110 snaps, and their linebacker, Chad Whitener, played every snap. You know, Peoples had 600 yards or whatever that they gave up to the Frogs. You face 110 plays, you're going to give up some yards. You don't have to be great at everything. They force turnovers. They stiffen fairly well in the red zone, and they make plays and get the ball back for their offense.
4 INTs of Boykin, which he hasn't seen anybody do. And so how do you do that? You got to be able to heat him up with Ogbah and company, and then you got to be able to cover Doxson and those guys in the secondary. So, yeah, I think the experience in the secondary, like Kirk talked about, and I also think the ability to rush the passer. Again, it's not about getting 30 stops, Des. In the Big 12, you get a few, you get back to your offense, especially when Mason Rudolph's playing at that high level. Right. All of a sudden, you're up 20 points just like that. So they've done a heck of a job so far.
I like their secondary, and they're healthy now, too. They can rotate a lot of guys, but they have Kevin Peterson, Ashton Lampton. Those guys are cover corners. You can put them on the island by themselves, and they can lock down the receiver. And we talked about Emmanuel Ogbah. What they can do defensively, to me, is really starting to separate them from the pretenders, and especially in a conference where people always kind of frown upon the Big 12's defenses, talking about they're not that great. I love the Cowboys' defense.
The great thing about this team, and the dangerous thing about this team, is they got TCU at home. They'll eventually get Baylor at home next week, and they get Bedlam, Oklahoma, at home. And when you have a defense that can keep you in games and you play at home, there's a lot of energy that they have there, and it gives them an opportunity. I think the offense also has become dangerous. We know all about Mason Rudolph. They spread you around and throw it. But they don't have a great tailback. And so J.W. Walsh gives you an element when they bring him in, something they didn't maybe anticipate when the season started. Yeah. But without that back that they've normally almost always had with Mike Gundy, you're a defensive coordinator. You're getting ready for Mason Rudolph and all the spread looks. You've got to spend time getting ready for J.W. Walsh. That takes away time from getting ready for Mason Rudolph. So the versatility of that offense is dangerous. And again, the fact they get everybody at home, they're for real.
I think the way they've adapted, David, they're less than 30% of their yards come from the running game, but they found a way to make it a threat with J.W. Walsh.
Yeah, and he is their tailback, basically, in short yard. In West Virginia, in overtime, 4th down, inside the 2-yard line, they give it to him. They trust him. So he was their quarterback a year ago.
Against Florida State.
Before he got hurt. He played great against Florida State before he got hurt. So
with the 2-quarterback system, it's almost like you force a coordinator to prepare for 2 teams.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And he can throw it because he was a quarterback.
They get Baylor after this game. This is going to be a physical game, too. And they got Baylor coming in after this. So, yeah, I like their schedule. It's shaping up pretty good for the Cowboys.
They get a break, unlike Baylor and Oklahoma, and unlike TCU, which has a break against Kansas today. Okay, so here's what you had. I've got a question for you. Which will be bloodier and over quicker, Des? Will it be the TCU-Kansas game or the Ronda Rousey fight?
Wow. Oh, that's simple.
That's a good one.
Ronda Rousey's fight. I was watching her yesterday on SportsCenter. Yeah,
so Kansas hangs in longer than home?
I think so. I think TCU is still a little beat up. Dotson is still hurt. He has a wrist injury. So I don't know. I think Ronda Rousey.
I thought it was nice of Ronda Rousey to play along with the whoever she's fighting there.
Yeah.
Acted like.
That
was kind of cute.
The face off.
That'll be over in 30 seconds. I think Kansas will last. Yeah. I think Kansas will last a quarter. Especially after TCU losing last week, they're out to.
But the number's low though for Bears board and stuff. It's only 45. They're 45-point favorites.
And is that enough?
This is why we talk about the Big 12 and the schedule. Is when Kansas comes knocking, it's just really fun to talk about. We talk about how bad they're going to get beat instead of if it's going to be a competitive game.
Well, it's because there's a big gulf between
everyone else in the top four
contenders, and there's not much of a middle class, and then you have some teams that are struggling. Remember, it hasn't been that long ago when Baylor was struggling like Kansas. Now they're a force. Maybe David Beatty gets it turned around. Chapel thrill today. North Carolina gets Miami. If the Heels win and Pitt loses to Duke, North Carolina goes to the ACC title game. They haven't won a conference championship since Lawrence Taylor was there in 1980. Now, nobody's going to mistake this Carolina defense for some LT-led outfit, but they found a little swagger, and they found some hope. Previously, North Carolina's primary defense was maybe they run till they get tired. Hopefully they'll fall down before they get to the end zone. But they found a defensive coordinator, national championship on his pedigree, and former Auburn head coach Gene Chizik. And he's made North Carolina's defense, particularly its pass defense, more than respectable. Tar Heels defensive coordinator is wired.
Good day today, man. Let's go. Let's roll. Let's roll.
I thought this was a place where, it was a challenge. And, I missed challenges.
Let's go. Build some habits. Build some habits. Good. Nice violent release. You're getting better, Jalen. You're getting better every time I see you, son. You did a great track on it. Why are you diving down with your eyes on the ground? There's not one thing you do in life where your eyes are on the ground.
I felt like that would be a great challenge for myself, and hopefully I could come in and give something and add something to this program that would be helpful to get us to a championship.
You're not helping us, right? You're not helping us, but you want to eat. You want to be in line for that ring, but you ain't helping us. So either help us or get gone. Good work, O. Good work, O. That's the best you've looked. It's the best you've looked.
As I mentioned, Carolina's pass defense among the best in the country. Now, you can look at the run defense and say, well, you don't have to pass because you run on them. They keep you out of the end zone, Des. They're top 25 in the country in scoring defense. Yeah. Are the Tar Heels being a little undervalued?
I think so. I think people really didn't understand the impact that Gene Chizik would have on that team, especially the defense. I mean, he's put his thumbprint on that group, and they've been playing better and better each week. Marquise Williams, the quarterback, though, fifth-year senior, he's finally in the place where he understands what's expected from him. He has some great wideouts on the outside. He has Mark Hollins and Quinshad Davis. Both guys are 6'4", some big targets outside. I like the whole package, the offense and the defense. But, yeah, Gene Chizik was a great hire. People kept talking about Will Muschamp in Auburn when he was going to do that defense. I don't think anyone saw this coming with Gene Chizik in North Carolina.
You like North Carolina today over Miami?
I'm afraid so.
Yeah.
They lost. They won. They stole the Duke game.
Yeah,
and they got past Virginia. They don't beat North Carolina.
Right. I just can't believe that's the same North Carolina team that you called on a Thursday night and lost to South Carolina.
I know, right?
Yeah. I mean, how much are they kicking themselves about that game? If North Carolina took care of South Carolina, they're undefeated, and they're right in the middle of this, and they're trying to get to a game with Clemson at the end of the year where there'd be a lot on the table. I definitely think North Carolina undervalued. I think Marquise Williams has experience. He's running this offense for Fedora, and I agree with what you're saying, Des, and it's fun to see Gene Chizik bounce back. He just got ridiculed, destroyed, everything that he had built up as an assistant, as a coordinator, as a head coach, just thrown in the trash after that Auburn experience. Very, very great to see him back doing what he's doing for that North Carolina D.
And that South Carolina game, they should have won if you watched.
I know.
I mean, they gave it away. Marquise Williams.
Absolutely.
2 end zone picks. I mean,
uncharacteristic.
Yeah, it should have been a win, but we did the Duke North Carolina game last year at the end of the season. And I don't know if I've ever seen a worse defense. I mean, North Carolina's defense was so bad. And just for Gene Chizik to come in and take a lot of the same players to get them organized, and they talked about how positive he was. He's just built them back up.
I like how he's talking to him there, whether he was wired.
Are you going to earn your meal?
Yeah,
earn your meal. Or you're going to get out of here.
Challenging their manhood a little bit.
Yeah. In the beginning, it had to be positive. They talked about it. Their psyches were so beat down from a year ago. But now he's
like, but imagine if they keep winning and Clemson keeps winning. That game in Charlotte at the end of the year in December
would be tricky.
It'd be very tricky.
Yeah. Against Clemson. Clemson's at Syracuse. And, they didn't need a lot of help on defense. Desmond mentioned guys like Mac Hollins who can take the top off. I mean, they've got great speed on the outside.
Switzer's in the slot.
Switzer, as exciting a return man as you'll see in college football. So that is the North Carolina-Miami game. I think everybody seems to like North Carolina here. Florida State, coming off the loss to Clemson, going back to Everett Golson at quarterback against North Carolina State. Big impact for the Seminoles going back to Golston?
I don't know if it's going to be a big impact, but I think after watching that game and calling it last week, I can understand why. They gave Sean McGuire the opportunity. They thought he was going to give them a better chance, maybe because of his understanding of the scheme. Being on the road, they go back to Everett Golson. Maybe that'll spark them.
All right, so anybody willing to pick NC State?
No.
Knock them off?
No.
All right,
Dalvin Cook.
Went with Golson last week.
I looked just a few minutes before the show, guys, at the Bears board. It was blank. There was nothing up there. The Bear may still be stewing over some of these picks.
Bear, you're locked in there.
We're good.
He's good.
I'm just paying attention. I was waiting for the Miami tee up right there, by the way.
You got Carolina today?
Yeah, I can't see Miami's defense getting too many stops against that offense.
What do you got on the board there? First pick.
Temple, South Florida. I mean, South Florida this year has already pulled 3 upsets, been very good with the football this year, not turning it over. Temple's been an opportunistic defense. And South Florida's been terrible the last 3 years. With the win today, they can get to a bowl game. You look at who they've lost to, Florida State, who you just mentioned, Navy, Memphis, a bunch of one-loss teams. I like the Bulls today. I like Willie Taggart's team.
Wow.
Get that 6th win, get to a bowl game.
Wow, straight up?
Straight up, they're a 3-point underdog. It's not a huge upset.
Good for you.
So you'll be tuned in Thursday night to that UCF game we're calling on Thanksgiving.
I would love to spend Thanksgiving with you and the Thursday night family.
We'd love to have you. Love to have you.
Good time.
Look what we have here. The Bears picking the Bulls, so we've got a bull and a bear market. I mean, sick of the Bears we have here. Look at that. That's a live. There's a live bear habitat with a couple of bears on campus here at Baylor.
That's awesome.
I would not be seeing that thing.
And Lady.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, he's waving, saying hello.
The Bears' names are Joy and Lady, but I will confess that I can't tell the difference yet. No. I know our bear, Chris Felica. He has 1 pick on the board. Samantha Ponder is with us among this great crowd here at Baylor. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Reese. My first game for ESPN was about 4 years ago. That TCU win here at Baylor, 50-48. It was Robert Griffin III's coming out party. This place is unrecognizable since then. It's incredible to see what this program has done in just a few short years. We've got a lot more coming up on College Game Day. Yeah, these folks had one job, and let's just say they lost their focus. Don't miss some of the best video of the week. It's You Had One Job. And stay tuned for more great Game Day signs later in the show, brought to you by Pizza Hut. This is, 8, 9 weeks straight with a Trump sign at College Game Day. We'll see how long that lasts. And the College Football Playoff National Championship Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper and Baby Mac. Getting us awake this morning. Some of us are a little slow going. And some tailgating if you're a vegetarian. I'm sorry about that. Everybody's getting ready for a big game, and yes, the arrival of the head coach they know and love around here, the one and only Art Briles, everybody's favorite guy from West Texas. The head coach will be with us as Game Day rolls on right after this.
Is brought to you by Coke Zero. All taste, 0 calories. Try a new Game Day tradition.
Good view of the best seat in the house. Section 0 brought to you by Coke Zero and the Cheez-It Real Fan Cam, showing the creativity of the students and fans here at Baylor. great signs out there, and we might as well check in here at the Home Depot Game Day Tailgate, courtesy of Vitex Barbecue. It is home of the gut pack. I mean, there are Fritos, beef, sausage, pickles, onions, jalapenos, all kinds of things, and they're grilling up some meat here at the Home Depot Game Day Tailgate. And chefs Julie Vitek Keefe and T.C. Brown from Vitex Barbecue doing the cooking there. Saturday Night Football, maybe the game of the year, at least according to FBI. It's certainly a 1 versus 2 matchup. 6-12 in the selection committee rankings as Baylor takes on Oklahoma, 8 o'clock Eastern on ABC and streaming live on the Watch ESPN app. Baylor and Oklahoma, Baylor's only won 3 times in the whole history of the series, but they've won 3 of 4, including the last 2. Shock Linwood went off a couple of years ago, so did Bryce Petty. A blowout for the Bears, 41-12 in a top 10 matchup. And last year, Corey Coleman just eviscerated the Sooners. 15 catches, 224. Baylor won again, 48-14. OU had no answers for the Bears. Will they be able to come up with some this time around? You still wonder about Baylor, but the tests start tonight, and a guy eager to pass those tests is Art Briles. He's with Samantha Ponder. Sam?
Coach, as you know, you got this program turned around. You're rolling once again. Oh, and he's feeding the crowd here. But with that success, of course, comes doubt and criticism. So what do you think when you hear people say, yeah, they're undefeated, but they haven't played anybody yet?
I mean, can you doubt this? Can you criticize this? I mean, it depends on who you're talking to. I mean, we had our tent city out here last night. I appreciate all the kids coming out and getting ready to go today. And, it's a great day. I mean, you can find doubt and criticism anywhere you want to look, but what we look at are results. And that's what we're judged by. We're judged by production and results, and our team has done everything it can do to make this a big game. If we don't take care of September and October, this isn't a big game today. They've taken care of business to get us this point.
Coach, you talk about results, but obviously now with the playoff system, you have a subjective party that's really grading you at the end of the year. Do you think the perception that in the Big 12 they don't play any defense hurts you at all?
I think the perception is in the Big 12 you play great offense, and that's the perception, that's reality, because there's a lot of talented people in this league that are getting after you on the offensive side of the ball. There's a lot of great defenses. It's just the style of play that we play with. So, our perception is that we're really good and we'll match up against anybody in the United States of America.
Well, let's talk about your offense a little bit. I was reading a Wall Street Journal article this week that said your offense is profoundly lazy. Now, that was actually a compliment because that's all by design. So help me understand why you are okay with your wide receivers breaking the cardinal rule, the cardinal sin in football of taking plays off.
Well, it depends on who you're talking to about it being a sin. With us, it's the right thing to do. I mean, we're not going to, have a imaginary bone in our hand and throw it out there and expect the dog to chase it. I mean, if we're going to throw him a bone, we're going to throw him a bone. So, when we work, we work. When it's time to get ready to work, then we'll do that. But, it's you can say what you want to about anything you want to say, but, our philosophy is a little bit different than a lot of people, and we love being unconventional, to be honest with you, Samantha.
You like being a little different. You also like giving guys nicknames. Can you give me some of the nicknames you have for guys on your team right now?
Oh, I got a bunch of them.
You have a favorite?
I kind of like Corey Coleman. It's pretty tough because he's kind of a sweet-looking guy, but at the same time, he's one of the toughest guys I've ever been around. Laquan, I call him capital Q because there's no lowercase in that body.
Can I pause you there for a second?
Yeah.
Laquan, his 410-pound tight end. The guy has one catch, and it's for a touchdown. How come you're not giving him the rock more, Coach? Who is tackling that guy?
You're right. But, our footballs deflate too easily. When he squeezes it, the air comes out. But he's just done a great job for us. He's found a good role for us, and we're really proud of him.
Last thing for you. We've got a guy, 4 guys on the set over there. Of course, you know those guys. I know you're into nicknames. You got some nicknames for our guys?
For our guys up there?
Yeah, we got Herbie, Coach, Reese, and
you're
Des.
throwing me a bone now.
Yes.
I appreciate that. I'm going to go with, Herb the nerd. He's kind of just, he's just,
compliment. You're
he's
very
the guy.
smart.
Yeah, he's straightforward. Dr. Corso, I would say the traditionalist. He's got a little old school in him.
Yep, I like that.
Old school.
Fowler, you could go with foul ball.
We don't have Fowler anymore.
Yeah.
We got Reese up
Oh, is that Reese? Where's Fowler at?
He's doing your game tonight. You'll see him later.
That's a compliment.
Yes,
Reese.
it is. Yes,
we can go pretty boy Reese because I ain't never, it's like I told our players last night. Everybody that's ever put on makeup for ESPN is here today, so we're ready to see them. And then with Dez, I'd say, please give us a new pose. He's still gonna live on that. I mean, is this still the 80s?
Hey, I don't even do it no more.
This is 2015.
Throwing shots over here. Coach not afraid to take some shots. We like that. At least I appreciate it because I wasn't taking any.
What's Sam?
Oh, gosh. No, see, we should send it back to Reese now.
Sam needs a nickname.
Sam's got no flair. She had a chance to show a little flair earlier. She backed down. So
I didn't dance. They asked me to dance. I wouldn't do it.
She's locked the door, Sam. Locked the door, Sam. I ain't coming out. When it's party time, she's at home. Give us something, Sam. You cannot go down with it. Give us a
happening on TV right now. Reese, take it away. Coach, get me out of here.
Wow.
Hey, you know what? I just thought of a new nickname that I have for Art Briles.
What is it?
Gary Patterson.
There you go. That's a good one. That's good.
Very good.
Grant Taft.
I like shots
Grant Taft over there.
I'm going to thank Art Briles. He'll be able to ride out on his boat there coming up, and he'll lead the Bears against Oklahoma coming up tonight.
We call him Grant Taft tonight.
You look at Baylor's schedule coming in, or so far ranked 94th in the country, but it's in the top 5 in America from here on out. Next 3 opponents, one tonight, the Sooners, Oklahoma State, and TCU, 25-2, and then they'll wrap up the season here at McLean Stadium against the Longhorns of Texas. How much will be at stake by then? Baylor, of course, pursuing a conference championship. Marshall hosts Florida International. And excitement for the Thundering Herd over another hunt in the Conference USA race is tempered on this significant date in Marshall history by reverence for those lost in one of the sport's great tragedies, as we welcome in, once again, Tom Rinaldi.
Reese, at Marshall, they are known simply as the 75, and they represent the line between before and after, before the plane crash that forever changed the university and its football program, and after, in the way those 75 are remembered to this day, 45 years later. There are no markers in the sky, no graves in the air, but like memory, they are always there, around this place, inside its people. November 14th, 1970. After a game against East Carolina, the Marshall football team boarded a flight back home to West Virginia. Southern Airways Charter Flight 932 left with 75 souls aboard, including 37 players, 8 coaches, and 25 boosters. They never arrived.
Good evening. A charter jet carrying the Marshall University football team home to West Virginia crashed as it tried to land.
A DC-9 Southern Airways plane carrying Marshall University's football team, routers, and crew crashed and burned. That's according to state police and the FAA.
The accident is the deadliest sports-related tragedy in American history. In the ashes and aftermath, Marshall made a choice: to endure. And for 45 autumns since, on bright fields and loud Saturdays, that's what the Herd has done. Persevere, prevail, play. The memory is always there, in loss and sorrow, in victory and tribute. For all who love this sport, they are us. We are them. We are Marshall.
Waco, Texas, Big 12 front and center. This is the start of what is perhaps the toughest 3-game stretch any team has faced to this point in the season. More of the Big 12 gets sorted out starting tonight Baylor and Oklahoma. You know, the Bears have outgained their opponents by 2,000 yards, and they've proven nothing yet. As Art Briles likes to say, today is a prove-it day. Plenty more coming on the Bears and Oklahoma and the entire picture in the Big 12. Also today at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri takes on BYU. Tigers still need a couple of wins to become bowl eligible. This game would have barely registered, maybe not even a blip, if not for the events on campus in Columbia, Missouri this week. The entire nation watched as things started to unfold. Back on November 2nd, it started when graduate student Jonathan Butler begins a hunger strike to protest racial handling of episodes on campus. On Saturday, the football team joined them. On Sunday, Gary Pinkel tweeted out this photo with the hashtag #ConcernedStudent1950 to show his support. One of the demands was that Missouri President Tim Wolf resign, and on Monday, he did exactly that. On Tuesday, Missouri returned to the practice field after saying they would boycott all football-related activities until Wolf was removed. Tuesday, Mizzou was back at practice. And yesterday, Gary Pinkel took his team into Arrowhead for a walkthrough, ready to take on BYU, a game that was in jeopardy to some degree earlier in the week, depending on how the events were handled with the Missouri administration. But the Tigers are ready to play against BYU coming up later tonight. But Missouri's emotional week took yet another turn yesterday when Gary Pinkel announced that he would retire effective at the end of the season as the Tiger head coach. Pinkel was diagnosed with lymphoma back in the spring, and he said the events of this past week had nothing to do with his decision. He decided a couple of weeks ago, after some treatments and discussion with his family, that this season would be his last. News started to leak out, and Pinkel made that announcement coming up yesterday. We go to Kansas City now, where Maria Taylor is going to join us. Maria was in Columbia earlier this week with the team when the news broke of Tim Wolf stepping down, and also back with the Missouri team when Gary Pinkel announced that he would retire at the end of the season. Good morning, Maria. How would you describe the team's emotion as they've been able to ride this high of achieving something socially on campus and then have it tempered at the end of the week by Pinkel announcing that he would retire?
Well, good morning, Reese. It's definitely been a wide range of emotions that these players and this team has endured for the University of Missouri. On Monday, when I was in Columbia, there was a lot of relief. They were returning back to normalcy, getting back to the practice field. And I'm told that when the team went to Gary Pinkel and told him that they wanted to make a stand in support of Jonathan Butler's hunger strike, they used the actual acronym that the entire university uses for social responsibility. It's called Show Up. If you see it, hear it, you own it. And they told their coach that they see something, they hear it from their student body, and now they want to own it and make a stand. So that was emotional in itself to have that conversation with their coach, and then to have the success and the triumph of actually having their stand heard on a national scene and then making some change. They returned to the practice fields. We're feeling good about their preparation. He even spoke to Gary Pinkel earlier in the week, and he said that his team had handled adversity well, only for it all to be upended on the Friday before they take on BYU at Arrowhead Stadium, which has completely thrown this entire team off of their normal course without a week.
So, Maria, what was it exactly that impacted Pinkel's decision to make his retirement public the day before this game?
Well, Gary Pinkel started receiving messages on Friday about his potential resignation, which means there was a leak to the media. And he said that he immediately knew that he had to tell his staff and his players before they found out through any other source. So he gathered his team at 2:30 on Friday and told them all together that he would be resigning at the end of the season. And he said that he could see in the body language of his team that it was a very somber, sad, and emotional room. He brought them then to Arrowhead Stadium for their walkthrough, and you could almost hear a pin drop when they walked into the stadium. They walked straight to the center of the field. They locked hands and they began to pray. They prayed for the coaches. They prayed for Gary Pinkel and his doctors. And they began to talk about the idea that all they can control is themselves now after being through so much. And I think at the end of the day, Gary Pinkel has always prided himself and his program in consistency, on building discipline. And this certainly upsets some of the things that he set in place for his team. But he did also say that he wanted to be able to tell the university university early enough to find a predecessor that is worthy of the University of Missouri. He has certainly done that, but again, he had to tell his team much earlier than he had planned to. He was hoping to tell them on a Sunday when they had time to digest the information before having to play on Saturday.
Maria Taylor reporting from Kansas City. Maria, thank you very much. You know, it has been, as Maria alluded to, a very emotional week for the Missouri team, but this entire episode also underscores the empowerment of college athletes, not just football players, but particularly football players. The situation at Missouri became a national story because the football team got behind it. And now, as you look at this from a broader perspective, Kirk, the athletes, the players realize now that they have some real power to affect change, whether that is socially, whether it's on campus, or whether it is regarding the things that they endure or have to experience as an athlete. What impact do you see this realization having on the game in a bigger scope?
Well, it's a lot of power. And in this particular case, it was not only black players, it was white players, it was coaches, it was a head coach, it was an entire group. It was a community coming together for a cause. And in this particular case, they stood strong, and you saw what happened. The president resigned on Monday. When you take a bigger picture and kind of a broader sense and what other players, whether it's Baylor or Oklahoma or Ohio State or USC, might be thinking, you do wonder in this era, Des, that we live in, where players are kind of fighting. We had Northwestern try to form the union. You know, you wonder if players might look at this and think, you know, we do have the power to be able to go out there and make a stance on something we all believe in. In this case, it was an obvious situation where with Ferguson and everything going on near their campus, they all came together. But you wonder about other causes, you know, where you might want to come together and say, if this coach maybe isn't fired, we're going to walk out as a group. You don't know what this potentially could lead to.
Yeah, you know, I first heard this, I was like, this is probably the single most significant game-changing occurrence to happen in collegiate athletics in my lifetime. And the reason I didn't have a problem with this, let me take you back. When I was in college, I met a man named Greg Harding. Greg always stressed to me, Charles Woodson, Tom Brady, any athlete who would listen, that you're more than athletes, that you're more than just entertainment. You're a part of the student body also. You should be men of substance and character too. Have an opinion. So when I saw what Missouri football team did, I said, somebody finally woke up that sleeping giant. You don't have to unionize to show your power. All you have to do is come together as a group, which is what they did. I don't have any problem moving forward with these kids realizing the power that they have, because I don't think they will abuse it. You have to understand, the men in that locker room, they didn't come to that university to become activists. They came to play football and get a degree. They don't want to jeopardize that, especially there's a lot of kids who think they're going to play for that shield, the NFL. Trust me, it has to be a lot on their plate for them to put that in jeopardy. So the situation at Missouri was so dire that those kids collectively came together, like you said, white, black, everybody, the coaches. I don't see them abusing that power, because if they do abuse it, they will lose it just as fast as they got it.
They have to be very careful in terms of what causes they support. They also have to be careful who they listen to, because I'm not just talking about social issues here. There's a story, I'm not going to say which team or which Final Four, but a recent Final Four in which a team that was participating considered not delaying the start of the game, refusing to come out for a while to make a statement about players' share of the revenues and the name, image, and likeness cases that we hear from the Ed O'Bannon case. Ultimately, they decided the price was too high, a very responsible decision that they made based on the information they had. But players, athletes are thinking about these types of things. It's not just necessarily things that are easily taken care of or people understand, like injustices on campus and so forth like that. Coach, from your perspective, what does your experience tell you about how these things are best handled?
Well, coaches, first of all, are in a very tough position. They need to back up their players, even if they totally disagree or don't agree entirely. But if a coach is asked to prostitute his integrity by the team by accepting a clause he doesn't believe in, he should talk to the team, see if he can change their mind. If he can't, quit. Because you never prostitute your integrity to get a job or to keep one. Period. It's a fine line, and I envy, and I really feel sorry for any coach that has to go through this.
You know, Gary Pinkel was in a situation where he did what you're talking about, and he backed his team. But I think it was really exemplifies the power that the players own right now, because one of the things that Concerned Student 1950 wanted was the removal of the university president. And by aligning himself with that cause, he, in fact, called for that. What is your biggest concern, Kirk, about this going forward in terms of players exercising their power, whether it be for financial gain or other things?
Well, this is an extreme case, what we're talking about. Des makes a great point about how important it is to stay on the field and compete and eventually live out their dream of making it to the NFL. When I played at Ohio State, Robert Smith was a player that late at night was studying, trying to get ready for a big exam that he had during the summer, and one of the coaches came in and asked him to turn off the lights, quit studying. Robert Smith eventually quit the football team, and as a group, as an offense, not just because of what happened to Robert, as a group, we were united. We didn't like that offensive coordinator. And I'm just picturing that situation in 2015. I could have seen white, black, anybody involved. Hey, John Cooper, until you fire that offensive coordinator, we're not going to come and play. What does a coach do if every offensive player shows up and says, we're not playing until that coach is removed? What do you do?
I had it happen to me one time. I was in Indiana, and they came down from Chicago and wanted to get rid of me because my TV show was bought and sold by the Cougaran. They said I was a racist. Charlie Peel, my offensive tackle, a big black kid, went and talked to him. Boom. He's not a racist. Leave him alone. They left. That was a great
you know, with that scenario, I think that because there's so many kids in there that, you know, this is their meal ticket. Not only for themselves, but for their family. That they understand, believe me, I've been to the locker rooms. I understand exactly what the mentality is of these young men. And they don't want to jeopardize what they've worked all of their young lives for at this point for something that's trivial. Now, you got to understand everything. Like, and these players in Missouri, don't get it twisted. Right. They also experience some of the races that the regular student body experienced. So that's why it was so easy for them to align themselves with their co-eds.
You know, some of them doubtless had, and I think that, Michael Sam, for instance, came out and said he did not have any of those types of experiences while he's on campus. But sometimes football players are held in such high esteem on campus, they're a little insulated from some of the other things that go on. And just for those who might not be aware of the situation with the sponsor for your old coach's show, it was a Cougaran South African currency during the apartheid controversy and the protest against that, to understand it. It is really an interesting thing, because I agree with you. They are playing for their future, but there is also a great number of student athletes right now who do not believe that they're getting what they're entitled to right now. And some of them believe, that they
I agree with them. Hold on. I'm on board with them. I
know you're on board.
Athletes.
You're on board with doubt. I don't know that they're all going to go quietly away simply because they're worried about what might happen in the future.
Yeah, they shouldn't. I think that, they should be taken. This is going to make the suits take them seriously now. Yep. They knock on that door, they're going to open that door now. Tell them to come back. I'm in the meeting. We'll talk to them next week.
The O'Bannon case, I think they take them pretty seriously.
But remember one thing, when it gets down to it, never prostitute your integrity to get a job
or to keep a job. Got you.
We're going to get back to some serious football.
We get back there.
Second level. College game day from Waco on a huge day for the Big 12. Other tricky games along the line. And also, how returning to the football field from the battlefield helped former Marine Hank Goff rediscover the simple joy of living. And Corey Coleman, he's a big-time star here, Heisman candidate. Why the road to stardom has been anything but smooth for the Bears star wide receiver. Smaller rivalries are no less meaningful. They are part of the game's DNA. Trophy games. I love trophy games. All when you come back to College Game Day. And here at Waco, one of the Goodyear winning traditions is the Baylor line. This is a cool thing you see before the game. The students line up there and they sprint across the field to form a human tunnel for the team to run out through to show their support. And then the Baylor line goes and occupies some unbelievable seats inside McLean Stadium. Gold seats in the first 13 rows right behind the visitors' bench.
Woo. Guard, ready, fence.
College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, is brought to you by AT&T, mobilizing your world. Pizza Hut's Triple Treat Box. Make any night a holiday. And Go RVing. Find your away at GoRVing.com.
College football is college football because of small rivalries. And because pigs can fly. Just ask Floyd of Rosedale, who wings his way to Iowa City or Minneapolis every year.
And there they go, running for Floyd.
College football is college football because we love feet. RPI and Union go head over cleats about a pair of red clogs called the Dutchman shoes. LSU and Arkansas go hog wild over the Golden Boot. College football is college football because we know the value of $1. Or in the case of the Cortland-Ithaca rivalry, $2. That's what the Cortica jug cost at a 1959 yard sale. Only in college football does a carved wooden turtle end up at Ohio State or Illinois, which beats the live turtle they used to give the winner. And only in college football can we have the long-time battle of the small school hyphens, Hampton-Sydney versus Randolph-Macon. Or how about the longest rivalry in D3, Amherst versus Williams, known as the biggest little game in America. And if that doesn't ring a bell, then try the 122nd meeting of Wabash versus DePaul. Winner gets the Monon Bell. All 300 pounds of it.
An Amherst-Williams game. Amherst has won 18 straight. Eafs and the Lord Jeffs, great nicknames there. Wabash has dominated against DePaul. And the Academic Bowl, Case Western Reserve against Carnegie Mellon, among the notable rivalry games today. Of course, the Big Ten is the king of trophy games. Floyd of Rosedale at stake, and last season Minnesota housed Iowa 51-14 to take home Floyd. 80 years ago, the first time that Minnesota and Iowa played for that bronze pig. Of course, back then it wasn't bronze, it was real live bacon. They had the live pig there. But before they go at it over Floyd, there is an undercard at Kinnick Stadium. They're putting the wrestling mat out. Iowa and Oklahoma State, two of the most storied programs in all of college wrestling, 57 national championships between them, and they're going to set an attendance record. They've already sold more than 35,000 tickets for these two high-powered college wrestling teams. You know, last week you probably saw the Bear answering hometowns of wrestlers. What about Iowa All-American Thomas Gilman, Bear? Any idea there?
Pass.
Council.
I need a landline.
That's the first time right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste your time.
Council Bluffs.
Wow.
Council Bluffs, Iowa. That's going to be a great event, but that is going to be the undercard. The main event, of course, is chasing Floyd in the ultimate prize hog in college football, which would be a conference championship in the Big Ten, maybe the college football playoff. Football Power Index gives Iowa an 83% chance of beating Minnesota. But over the last 10 seasons, Iowa has lost 10 times when the FPI has given them an 80% chance to win. That is tied with Oklahoma for the most in the nation. Kirk Ferentz's team has soared to number 5 in the college football playoff rankings, but Kirk's not surprised because Kirk Ferentz doesn't get surprised.
When I went to Maine back in 1990, after a short time of being a head coach, I walked home one night and told my wife, I said, if I ever come home and say I'm surprised by anything, just hit me with a skillet, because you learn not to be surprised by anything. Beat Minnesota, it's simple as that. You know, it's about all we can control right now. And the one thing you learn real fast, you know, if you want to get somewhere, you have to take care of the present, and that's the most important thing for us right now. To me, these polls are a little bit like preseason polls. Those polls in August don't mean much, and you know, it's nice to be in the discussion, but right now that's all it is. It's a discussion. Anybody in a Power 5 conference, if you go undefeated and then win your championship, you got a good chance of being in it. You can put that one down in black and white. It's easy to talk about, but getting there, that's the tough part. Yeah, this team's had good potential, and you know, 9 games into it, they're doing a wonderful job. I don't know how the season's going to turn out, but I know this. I think our guys will play hard.
Many believe that Iowa is overrated if you look at the experts and how they would fare on a neutral field against the teams In the college football playoff top 25, they would be favored only against Wisconsin and Northwestern, two teams that they've already beaten, along with a couple of group of 5 teams in Navy and Temple, but big underdogs in many of the other cases against teams where they're ranked close to them. Double-digit underdog to the team ranked behind them in Baylor. Even so, Iowa has been efficient. They've been tough. His opinion's starting to change on Iowa.
Well, I think Iowa's a Big Ten solid football team. And they're only one of 2 teams that have beaten 2 nationally ranked teams on the road. The other one, Alabama. On defense, they can stop the run. They're number 1 in the nation in avoiding rushing touchdowns. They've only allowed 3. And on offense, they're the 3rd best offensive team balance-wise in the country. Now, I know you agree with this. I think they ought to be in the top 4.
Do you?
Yes, I really do.
Did you pick Indiana to beat them last week?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I wouldn't pick it.
I did. It wasn't me. It wasn't.
He did.
Everything
My buddy right here.
He picked Georgia one year, too.
Everything you just said is true about Iowa. And, you know, this subjective analysis that we get with all of us, the committee, us, Iowa loses in that debate because you watch teams like Baylor and TCU and they're scoring 65, 70 points a game. And then you watch Iowa and they win the turnover margin. They win the field position. They are tough to run the football on. They don't have the explosive offense, so people tend to put them on the back burner. Here's all you need to know about Iowa. If they went out and they go to Indianapolis and they beat Ohio State or Michigan in the Big Ten championship game and go on to play and they've remained undefeated and they're 13-0, Iowa will be in the top 4. That's all you need to know. We can argue this. We can say they're deserving. They're not deserving. The ball is in their court, Des.
Yes.
And what they do with it, it's up to them.
Yeah, I agree with you. You have to respect Iowa. I mean, give Kirk Ferentz some credit. After last season, he did some soul searching, went back, watched tapes of his interviews, and he got back to the basics. They run the ball extremely well. They're great against the run. They're not a heavily penalized team, very disciplined. They take care of the ball. They're top 10 in the FBS in the turnover margin. So they just got back to the basics. Now, their best win so far was against a shorthanded Wisconsin team. But like you said, if they keep winning and they get into the Big Ten championship game, then everything will be exposed.
Yeah, won't matter.
And you'll see exactly who they are. Yep. But, I mean, you have to respect what they've done so far.
If they win today, they'll have their first 10-0 start in school history. They'll be going up against an inspired Minnesota team. Tracy Clay's getting the head coaching job on a full-time basis. Anybody picking Minnesota here?
No.
I think it's a close game.
I think it's a close game.
Just because the Minnesota defense against Michigan.
Are you picking Minnesota here?
I'm picking Iowa closer than the experts, whatever the experts are saying. I think it's going to be a close game.
Also in the Big Ten, what about Michigan, Indiana? Indiana's giving some teams scares.
Indiana in Bloomington with that offense?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's
they're definitely going to give Michigan a scare.
I agree with you. It's a very tricky game.
Michigan has to play great defense in the clutch because Indiana can score.
Yeah,
Michigan, real close against Indiana.
Both games very close. Both games.
Everybody close. Nobody's saying upset yet. Bear, you have a Big Ten game on your board over there.
I do. I think Nebraska, 2 times they've been a road favorite in a conference game this year. They've lost the game outright. Big news for Rutgers today. They should have Leonte Carew back. Nebraska's pass defense the last couple of weeks, 8 20-yard pass completions, 7 touchdown passes. It's a really poor defense. I think Nebraska needs to be on upset alert. I like the State University of New Jersey today at home.
Yep. Yeah, but Nebraska beat Michigan State.
How about the finish? That was unbelievable. I mean, I said you would know during that game. Like 2.5 minutes ago, Michigan State's got this one in the bag. They're up double digits. Right. They're going to move on because we were talking about that last week on the set.
Yeah.
And that wild finish.
Nebraska's
we should do that. Where were you? We should do that. Where were you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Road and get a 55 to Purdue is capable of losing anybody.
Did Rutgers straight up?
Yeah. He got Rutgers straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up, right?
That'd be a big upset.
I can't believe you're counting.
Good one.
Rutgers better figure out how to defend those receivers coming from off the sideline.
Yeah, exactly.
Just pass.
Do it. Where were you when that play happened?
Coke Zero is counting us down to kickoff in Champaign. Urban Meyer and number 3 Ohio State Buckeyes undefeated, trying to take home that Illibuck Trophy. 29 straight regular season conference wins. You know, they did have the loss to Michigan State in the conference championship game a couple of years ago. We'll hear from Urban Meyer later on in College Game Day, just over an hour and a half away from kickoff on ABC. And we welcome back in Samantha Ponder and David Pollack. A lot of these people do their jobs well. Sam, what else we got?
We got a lot today. David, any nominations for You Had One Job?
Yeah, I throw Art Browse right at the top of the list now for his misstep there.
Technically, that's not his job, though. He just needs to win football games. All right, let's start things off at West Virginia. West Virginia running back Wendell Smallwood. A little strange habit here. I get spitting on your own hands, but getting your QB to spit on your hands. Explain this one to me.
He's been running a lot. They run high tempo. He was out of saliva, all right?
Dehydrated.
And the bar is,
I thought those gloves are sticky anyway. In Asheville, North Carolina, they made a pick for some reason on the Notre Dame-Pittsburgh game, but instead of putting up Pitt, they put up the Steelers helmet, and they don't know how to spell Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Did you notice that?
That's a mess.
No, I didn't.
I didn't think so. Childress, Texas high school coach Jason Sims sent in this video. Take a look at the coaches running down the sideline. These are his two assistants, Matthew Olson and Bo Helm.
Somebody got a ball. Both guys failed.
Look at that. This is my favorite part. They hug it out.
They saw the ball.
Wow.
They saw the
Yes, they tried to follow the rules.
I like
And here we go. Dabo Swinney makes You Had One Job a lot just because of his dance moves. This one was a little bit different. Take a listen to what Dabo Swinney said this week.
I've been waiting all year to name Jim Brown as the captain for the Syracuse game. And see, now I appreciate that. See, now that's the way the response is supposed to be. When I said that to the team yesterday, they all were just looking at me like, we got our own Jim Brown. And they're all going. I mean, is that not sad?
Okay, to be fair, these guys are born in the 90s.
Yeah.
So it's not like they ever watched him.
Jim Brown.
You tell them they just need to read up a little bit?
Yeah,
You got to know that a little. You got to know
timer there.
You need to know the icons of the game.
You know what I mean?
You guys sound like the old guys now sitting on the porch, lecturing the young guys.
Back in my day, Kurt. Sam, back in my day.
Jim Brown was before my time.
Thank you, sir.
There's some that transcend, but to be fair, the long snapper from Clemson, Jim Brown, was on College Football Live this week and played a little Jim Brown trivia, and he actually did okay.
Yeah,
he
that's his own name.
Good for him. At least one guy knows, huh?
Jim Brown and I graduated the same year.
He's a young buck.
Exactly.
1912.
There you have it.
Come on, David.
All right.
Disrespectful.
That's ejection for targeting on Pollock. Home Depot Tailgate Titan. There's Sean Owens, this week's Home Depot Tailgate Titan winner here in Waco. He comes from New Braunfels, Texas. Is that Kingsbury's hometown? I think it might be. I'm not sure. All right, coming up in just over an hour and a half, Florida's already clinched the SEC East. Jim McElwain leads the Gators in against South Carolina. That's coming. Gators better be careful. They're beat up. They're missing some key parts on defense as they get ready to take on the Gamecocks. Still to come on College Game Day. College football playoff talk, perhaps the Irish, maybe even the Buckeyes getting a pass. Selection committee respectful of history or not? We will debate that, and why the challenges Hank Goff faces on the football field are no match for what he overcame as a Marine in Afghanistan.
If it wasn't football, I would have been happy, but I don't think I'd ever be where I am today. I don't think I'd be.
College football playoff top 25. Hope you'll join us for that. Here's how the top four look. And the first two out. Clemson still at number 1, and homestanding Baylor Bears here still sitting at number 6 behind a couple of one-loss teams. So, look, there's still time for this to play out, and things are going to change. History tells us that. Well, let's start with the Big 12. Undefeated Big 12 champion. An automatic lock to get in your judgment?
Me and Dennis disagreed on this yesterday. I think so. I think an undefeated Big 12 team 100% will be in, because you start to look at the landscape now. The other undefeateds would be the ones that have to worry about. And now I think Bama obviously sitting in that 2 spot they'd have to worry about. But everybody else, I think they'd pass Notre Dame at the 4 spot if there's an undefeated Big 12 team.
I tell you what, there aren't many guarantees in life, but I'll give you 3. Death, taxes. If Notre Dame wins out, they will be in the playoff. There's no way a Big 12 team will pass Notre Dame, undefeated or worse.
But why is
if
that?
They win.
But why do you say that?
Well, Notre Dame, first of all, they're locked in number 4. If they beat Stanford, they're not moving down. Okay. It's just that simple to me. And I don't think that they have a resume impressive enough to pass Notre Dame. And I don't think anyone in the selection committee got what it takes to move Notre Dame out of 4 if they run the table.
Okay, what are you really impressed with Notre Dame so far on what they've done?
We're not talking about it's not about what they did. Let's listen. They're 4 now. So what they did is irrelevant because this is where they are. You see what I'm saying? So now moving forward, if they don't lose, they don't move.
But
Go ahead, keep
they showed
that last year.
They showed the willingness.
Yeah, but they're not Notre Dame though.
There's a lot of challenges in the Big 12 coming up. There's a lot of high-profile teams playing each other.
The Big 12 champion, it has to be undefeated to get in. Because of the poor non-conference schedule, they get a lack of respect from the committee and nationally. That non-conference schedule kills the Big 12.
Yeah, it does hurt the perception. I think the fact that Notre Dame went up to 4, and when you look at what Notre Dame's resume is, and going to what David asked, they don't necessarily have any marquee wins that make you go, look at that win, look at that win, and look at that win. But it's not necessarily – there's two different things. What we think should happen and what we think the committee might do.
Exactly.
And the fact that Notre Dame's at 4 and what they have remaining, most notably Stanford at the end of the year, a team that's right now ranked up in the top 6 or 7, it's hard for me to imagine, with everything Notre Dame's accomplished, beating Stanford at the end of the year, for them to be taken out of that spot if they go to Palo Alto and beat Stanford. Now, what I think is I put Oklahoma State in the top 4 this week. Yeah. I think the Big 12, whether it's a Baylor or it's an Oklahoma State, whoever it might be, comes out of this conference, I think they're going to have a very strong case at the end of the year if somebody's unbeaten. If it's Oklahoma, who lost to Texas, and you're looking at their resume next to Notre Dame, who blew Texas out, they're going to have a hard time. Yeah. But Oklahoma State and Baylor, if they're undefeated, I think they're going to have a strong case.
Notre Dame's only losses to the number 1 team in the country.
2-point conversion.
And I'm not knocking Notre Dame and what they've done, but their best wins right now are Army and Temple. So AAC wins are your best wins
right now.
So if you're talking about going forward, a Big 12 team that goes undefeated, if Baylor beats Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, and TCU, that's 3 great wins. You're going to put that up against Navy. You're going to put that up against.
They better hope that Ohio State lose or Clemson lose or another team. But if Notre Dame wins, they're in.
When you look at Notre Dame's resume, and that's debatable, Ohio State, their resume is not great. Are they getting a pass right now? I mean, I'm not talking about the football judgment and the subjectivity, but objectively, are they getting a pass?
I think when everybody subjectively, the 5 of us, people out here, the committee, when you evaluate these teams, I think everybody has their own philosophy and the criteria. You look at resume, you look at the different metrics, you have the eye test, and then you have the potential. In Ohio State's case, whether it's fair or unfair, people remember the last year when they played Wisconsin, Alabama, and Oregon. And the fact that so many of those players returned from last year's team who are playing this year, I personally, it's like you're waiting for that team to show up. Now, we haven't seen them other than flashes, maybe Rutgers. We'll see, because they're running out of time for that potential. They're either going to lose or they're going to start to play like the team that played late last year.
The committee always thinks about the top. You got to beat top 25 teams.
Yeah.
The only team not to beat a top 25 team is Ohio State.
But they have Michigan State, Michigan, and Iowa.
Yeah, they got them coming. But right now, Ohio State doesn't deserve to be number 3. They have not beat a team yet. And yet, again, you know what? They haven't beat one. Their only one of the top 5 teams not to beat the top 5.
See, that's an example of what you weigh in the criteria. Do you weigh just the resume, or are you looking at the team's potential of what they can eventually do?
It needs to be art more than
you look at
science.
Ohio State, you look at the defending national champs, everyone they brought back from that team. Obviously, people got excited at that Virginia Tech game. We were there. We were like, wow, this team's going to be very explosive. So you're giving them the benefit of the doubt. But that happens every year, especially when you're defending national champs. So that goes without saying. They are getting the pass, but they're going to get an opportunity to earn the respect.
Either they do it or they don't.
Like you said, they have Michigan State, and they got Michigan.
Going to Ann Arbor.
And they may have the Big Ten championship game, too.
I just think there's a lot of people in the Big 12 that look at that and say, absolutely, they're getting a pass. Because you look at where the Big 12 teams are ranked, and then you look at what Ohio State's schedule is, there's not a big difference. So, yes, they are getting a pass, but we also saw them beat Alabama last year. We saw them stomp Oregon out, and a lot of those guys returned, so I think that's why.
That was last year. We're talking about this year.
But most of the results. Hey, Coach, but you're also an undefeated guy, though. Ohio State's undefeated. You're the undefeated guy up here? Banging the drums for 0 losses?
I agree. They shouldn't be in there.
So Notre Dame should be ahead of them with 1 loss?
Absolutely.
I give up. I give up.
Chuck.
Here's a great thing, particularly about Ohio State. You get a chance to employ some subjectivity with a great talent. Plus, they have the test. Mm-hmm. They'll have some high-profile victories if they remain in the conversation of the college football playoff. And this is a subject that, even if all the data's not in yet, it gets the blood boiling. College football playoff, many work to make this reality. You might not know the name Chuck Gerber, and that's okay with him, but if you ever met Chuck, you would never, ever forget him. Chuck Gerber passed away at the age of 71 last week. He was the former vice president of college sports at ESPN and more recently a consultant to the SEC. He had a big personality, a big laugh, and while certainly I'm personally indebted to him for the support he showed during my career, collectively, all of us as college football fans also owe Chuck a debt of gratitude.
He was beautifully brash. He was very bright.
Chuck understood the power of college football. It was about telling stories.
Gerber was instrumental in developing popular properties such as the Skins Game and the College Football Awards Show. He negotiated myriad deals with conferences that led to an explosion of college sports on television and had a significant voice in the college football playoff. But never was his instinct more keen than with the advent of the SEC Network, a project nearly 8 years in the making.
It was the most successful launch of a cable channel in history, any cable channel.
He's the guy that was the brains behind the making the SEC television network a reality.
When he laid the roadmap out, he had the ability to convince everybody that was the way we were getting ready to travel.
Even when the travelers needed a patented Gerber nudge to stay on the path.
Our athletic directors each had their own programs and their own shows. A long-standing AD all of a sudden pipes up and says, "You mean I've got to give up this show?" And it gets quiet, and Chuck leans forward and he looks him right in the eye and he says, "Suck it up," which is classic Chuck.
The first day I went into my new office, which was his old office, I opened the top desk drawer, and there was a handwritten note from him wishing me luck in the new role. And he ended the note with, "P.S. Don't screw it up."
Deep down, beneath that gruff exterior, lay the heart of a man who was warm, caring, loving, sensitive, and kind.
There's a lot of people out there that have good hearts, great minds, that have contributed a lot to television and to college sports, and Chuck is certainly at the head of that parade.
The Cheez-It Real Fan of the Week is brought to you by Cheez-It, because at Cheez-It, real cheese matters.
Welcome back to a beautiful fall morning on the banks of the Brazos River right here in Waco, Texas. Yesterday, a lot of fans out here hanging out, having a little fun playing cornhole at the Cheez-It tent here in Waco. And of course, as always, our winner is joining me now, the Cheez-It Real Fan of the Week, Andrew Meyer, who graduated from Baylor last May. Now, we're used to seeing signs. We are not used to seeing signs framed, so give me the background here a little bit.
Well, this sign was originally brought out, Sam, for the 2011 Oklahoma game, where RG3 won and solidified the Heisman. And we kept bringing it up for big games, for #1 Kansas State in 2012. Oklahoma blackout in 2013, and then it's kind of become a tradition among fans and players tapping the sign before each game. A good luck charm. I like that. Also, we want to say thank you to our military members hanging out behind us, obviously with Veterans Day this last week. So much to be thankful for, Reese.
Sam, no question about that. A special salute to all the men and women who serve in the various branches of the military as Gene Wojciechowski joins us now. And Gene, you know, we talk a lot about and give our appreciation for the military people who keep us safe, but there is one instance in which college football might well have saved one of our former service members.
Well, Reese, Hank Goff is going to be playing in his final Division II game today. And this guy, he plays at Concordia University. His team is 1-9. His head coach just resigned this week, and they're going to be huge underdogs to Augustana. But nobody in college football is going to play harder today than Hank Goff. The way he sees it, he owes it to the game he loves and to absent friends.
You actually going to practice today, Hank?
It's helmets. I don't have to do anything.
So, no?
No.
Hank Goff is a starting defensive end at Concordia University, a Division II program in St. Paul, Minnesota. He's 28 years old, though you'd never know it.
Ah! Here comes the elephant parade! Hey, guys! I got 100 little brothers now, pretty much. I mess with them, but when it comes down to it, they know I'll do anything for them.
Football did save Hank. It definitely did. It made all the difference in the world.
It gives me a place where I can come out on the field and I don't have to worry about what's going on off the field. It's like my happy place.
Long before he was a Concordia defensive lineman, Goff was an All-State high school star in 2004, a South Dakota State starter in 2005, and a college flunk-out in 2006.
And then finally I kind of just had a wake-up call, like, you know, go get your life together because this is going nowhere.
So in August 2007, he enlisted in the Marine Corps. 6 months later, Private Hank Goff, machine gunner, 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines, Echo Company, was deployed to the Helmand Province of Afghanistan.
Hello, welcome to Sangin 08. The scariest time of your entire life. Every step is scary because you don't know if that's the last step. It's life or death, for real.
Hey, do not pop red smoke.
We got red smoke right there.
By Goff's count, Echo Company lost 22 Marines to firefights and improvised explosive devices.
You don't really deal with it because you can't. You don't have time. You worry about what your job is and your buddy next to you. That's how you're going to get home.
Goff spent nearly a year in Afghanistan and received an honorable discharge. As it turned out, he would fight in 2 wars, the one over there and the one back here.
I've had the same dream for like 5 years, the exact same dream. We're in this huge firefight. I'm shooting on my gun, shooting, and then I get hit in the stomach, and I look at my hand, and it's bloody, and then I wake up.
We were expecting that we would all fall back in to the ways that we'd always had, and it doesn't happen like that.
I was a monster for a while, you know. I just would drink and not really care what happened. Maybe a year after I'd been out, we had lost 4 guys in 1 month to suicide. And then a week later, my mom got diagnosed with Parkinson's. It's probably the first time in a long time I felt something. And I kind of just realized, like, all right, well, you know, you can keep doing what you're doing or you can man up.
Goff stepped up. He's been there for his mom, and he returned to school and football in 2013. He honors the memory of fallen Marines on his wrist and in his heart.
Every morning I wake up, I see them. If I'm feeling tired in the game, I look down, and, you know, I'm not that tired.
According to Goff, more than 30 members of Echo Company have committed suicide. Did you ever contemplate it?
I mean, I've had bad nights, you know. I'm not going to sit here and say, like, oh, I want to die or anything. But some nights you kind of get it. You understand, like, why. I could never do that. God forbid. Like, what would my mom do? What would my brother do? What would my sisters do? I've never, like, scared myself. You know, I've had bad nights, though.
Where you question things.
Yeah, you question things. It's like, is this worth it all? Like, can I beat this?
Those losses have tightened the bond between him and his fellow Marines.
Did you see that dude on Facebook the other night? He put up a status like, oh, I'm going to kill myself. So I hit him up. And like I was like the only dude he would talk to. If you're having a bad day, just call your buddy. I guarantee you can BS with him for 5 minutes and you're going to feel good. Or at least feel a little hope.
He's light years from where he was when he started. I think getting back to school was wonderful. To play ball was unbelievable.
I get a hug.
Yeah, you get a hug. Hello, Mother. If it wasn't football, I would have been happy, but I don't think I'd ever be where I am today. I don't think I'd be this happy, and I wouldn't be able to just be me.
Hank still has those bad days and nights, but he has them at fewer times. His family has smothered him with love, and it has made a huge difference. And Reese, as far as his future plans, well, after he finishes football, he wants to help coach his 14-year-old brother's teams, and he wants to become a fireman because he says after what he's been through, a desk job just wouldn't work for him.
Gene, a remarkable story of heroism and bravery on a day when we continue this week of celebrating our veterans, even more appreciative given the events in Paris on Friday. We are pleased to have with us from Fort Hood, Texas, the United States Army's 1st Cavalry Division Band. 60 musicians trained by both the Army as well as some of the finest conservatories and schools around the country, and they're getting a nice round of applause as they walk outside McLean Stadium. We have servicemen and women serving around the globe who are acutely aware of what's going on in college football. Look at them flying the colors for the Baylor Bears and hope that Art Briles' team can remain undefeated tonight. Plenty of Baylor support, but not to be outdone. There are plenty of service people yelling Boomer and hearing the answer of Sooner and hoping that they'll be able to come in to Waco tonight and hand the Bears their first loss in this stadium. We salute all of them who are serving our country. In the Pac-12, Stanford wins the Pac-12 North if they beat Oregon. You know the PA announcer tonight at Stanford Stadium is Steve Frost, the brother of former Cardinal quarterback and now Oregon offensive coordinator Scott Frost. You see the standings in the Pac-12 North on the screen. Stanford is firmly in control. You know, David Shaw, when he was a player at Stanford, his final touchdown catch as a player came against Oregon, and it was thrown by Scott Frost before he transferred to Nebraska. Now, both of those guys have been getting their teams into the end zone regularly. Oregon starting to have a resurgence, put 777 yards on Cal in the last game, and the Ducks come into the farm playing their best ball of the season, and Stanford is acutely aware.
This is a physical, fast game that both teams are going to walk off the field knowing they played a hard football game. So many explosive offenses, so many explosive football players, and this team, Oregon, is full of them. You don't want to give them a lot of opportunities. You don't want to give them a lot of time with the football. If you play their game, we don't hold the ball on offense at all, and they have a lot of opportunities, they take advantage of those opportunities. They don't need a lot of time with the football either. But at the same time, if we can control the clock, if we can run the ball, score touchdowns instead of kicking field goals, you give yourself a chance against these guys.
Look how good Stanford has been at home this year. Absolutely taking care of business, scoring touchdowns on nearly half of their drives, nearly 46%. You know, it seems funny, Desmond, to talk about a Stanford-Oregon game, and the guy that we talk about maybe being the most explosive guy on the field is Christian McCaffrey in the various ways Stanford uses him.
Yeah, they use him in so many different formations. That's how they put a lot of stress on defense. You got to prepare for like a spread look, a jumbo look, a tradition look. This is an 11 personnel right here with 3 wideouts. Watch how they're going to run their traditional power game. Even though it's like an in-between the tackles run, it really stresses the edge of a defense. It puts a lot of pressure on your first outside defender and your defensive end. Now, here's the jumbo package. They bring in a lot of big bodies, but they're going to run the same type of power play. Right towards the left edge this time, put a tremendous amount of pressure again on the end and the first outside defender. If they want to get sexy with it, they'll go 11 personnel, but they'll put McCaffrey at the wildcat position. They got Kevin Hogan out wide to the right. And here he's going to watch how he bends it to the right, and then he really comes out the back door to the left. He has great footwork, excellent vision. And this is what David Shaw's offense is all about. They're going to put a lot of stress on Oregon's defense just by formations alone, and they do it all so well, Kirk.
Yeah, David Shaw, Mike Bloomgren, the offensive coordinator there, done a really good job of developing this offense. This offense continues to grow, and they're going to score a lot on Oregon because Oregon's given up 37 points a game. It's been a deficiency for them this year. But the one thing about Oregon, remember early in the year, they played Michigan State well with Vern Adams. He got through that game, and then they had the Utah debacle. From that point on, they have been scoring points. Vern Adams is healthy. We know all about the speed and the playmakers around him. Darren Carrington now getting involved, Brilliant Addison. So this, to me, has some points. I think this could be a shootout. I think Stanford outscores Oregon, but the Ducks are coming to play.
Playing in the state of California and in Stanford is an advantage for Stanford. In the last 5 years, they have 3 losses at home. They're 43-5 in the state of California. This is played in Stanford. Take California. 43-5 in that state.
Killing them with the
I'm killing with that
stat, the state. It doesn't matter.
It changes every week.
You see that game at 7:30 Eastern time tonight. There's also Utah and Arizona. Utah sort of quietly, hey, look, they're in as good a shape as Stanford, one would think, in terms of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. But the Bear, you got the Utes on the board as they go down to Tucson, a reeling Wildcat team. What do we got there, Bear?
It reminds me, you said reeling. A couple of years ago, Oregon was a top 10 team, had playoff BCS aspirations, went to Tucson, and Rich Rod's team ran it up and put up a big number on them. I mean, the fact that Arizona played USC really tough last week showed they still have some fight to them. But for me, Arizona and their 2 losses to UCLA and Washington, 7 turnovers. They can't stop turning the ball over. Utah capitalized on turnovers a lot. Arizona's going to move the ball, but ultimately I don't think they'll get a T-stop. I think Booker will make some big plays. Utah will win, but closer than the experts think.
Okay. So
hard to imagine Arizona's defense without Scooby Wright slowing down Devontae Booker.
Exactly.
You know, they have They just don't have that same physicality.
See what the Trojans did to them last
like
week?
Utah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
The Trojans ran all over their defense.
Utah will win because they're good in 3 strong areas.
Okay.
Number 1, offense, they score. They're number 1 in the nation in red zone offense. Defense. 2, they are stop the run. They're number 1 in the Pac-12 stop and run. And 3, their kickers as good as anybody in the nation. I like Utah, too. I do.
Going with Utah. I got Utah, too, in a close one.
You know, punter got his car stolen this week for Utah. They found it.
Yeah, that's number 4.
Yeah. He got it stolen. They sent their social media coordinator over there to pick it up. The cops ended up putting him in cuffs.
Wow.
Let him go, though. Everything got all worked out. He'll be there. Everything good to go. Rich Rod, by the way, last 3 times that he's been an underdog at home, Arizona has won outright. Noon Eastern time on ABC. JT Barrett back at quarterback for the Buckeyes. Taking on Illinois. The Ellibuck Trophy goes to the winner. They'll tee it up, kick it off in just about an hour. We'll see if Ohio State is locked in offensively with number 16 back at quarterback. And now, getting down to about an hour until kickoff, and we have a celebrity guest picker.
How come Dez in down there?
I would love to do that.
They allow dancing on campus now, as we said. Look at Wheels Up, rolling in Baylor alum Jeff Dunham. He is our celebrity guest picker. If you don't know him, this dude makes Seinfeld Chris Rock type money as a comedian. He's also a ventriloquist. Make all of us talk.
Took the Excel in here.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Kick off your drive with tires that return superior performance. Good. Time for the game day signs, brought to you by Pizza Hut. Most of the signs I've seen so far this morning have something to do but not that one, but a lot of them with the College Football Playoff Selection Committee standings. Corey Coleman, invincible. The quality loss coming for Texas. There's Jeff.
Oh, man.
That's not nice.
That's rough.
The random reference to Bob Stoops' name. Well, now those are just fighting words there. Stoops designing the Starbucks cup.
Hey, I like Adele. Her CD's coming out.
Did you hear Rick Ross mix Adele?
No, I gotta hear that.
Yeah, you got to check it out.
I like her song Hello. I love that song.
Juan McGowan, big fellow who has a touchdown. And Texas on the subject of the Longhorns as Coach Zero counts us down to kickoff. The Horns on the road in Morgantown, noon Eastern on ESPNU. Gerard Hurd, he is a dangerous runner coming from the quarterback position, but can the Horns take care of the ball? West Virginia's had a little trouble doing that. Kickoff in less than an hour as Texas tries to fight its way to bowl eligibility. By the end of the season, still need a couple of wins. In Starkville this afternoon, Alabama and Mississippi State for the 100th time. Mississippi State has beaten Alabama just 18 times, but one of those 18 may be the greatest win in Mississippi State history. 35 years ago, knocked off the #1 Crimson Tide, stopping a 28-game winning streak. Now, Dak Prescott's brother said to him not long ago, you know, they might build a statue to you on campus here before you're done. He said, only if I win a championship or the Heisman. Heisman might be in play if Dak could lead the Bulldogs past the Crimson Tide. For Alabama, is trying to find a way to avoid the post-LSU hangover.
Ordinary people would probably have a letdown. So if our guys want to be ordinary, they'll probably have a letdown. But they've been extraordinary in most ways since the Ole Miss game, and hopefully we'll be able to continue that.
Last week was last week, and this week is this week. It's a new week, and guys got to still prepare the right way. Dak Prescott, he's a good quarterback. Guys got to do a great job of getting to him and putting pressure on him.
They're as good a defense as there is in America. You got to try to keep them balanced, and you got to protect the quarterback, be able to throw the ball some, and keep them on their heels a little bit, and not let them dictate the tempo of the game.
If you're going to really accomplish something of significance, you have to be consistent. So it's going to take your best football to be able to beat a team like Mississippi State on the road.
Last year, the whole team kind of felt like if we had another 5 minutes that we might have come back and won that game. So we're going to have to start off fast and finish fast this year.
Nick Saban mentioned it, and the Bear is able to validate this. The last 4 years after the LSU game, Alabama hasn't covered, and they lost to John Football after the LSU game in 2012. And Mississippi State has been the opponent 3 times and kept it closer than the experts think. And maybe Mississippi State will give the Tide a run as David Pollack joins us now. David, we know very few are going to run on Alabama, but could the Mississippi State wide receivers pose a matchup problem for the Tide?
If Leonard Fournette can't run on Alabama, I'm not sure anybody can. I mean, Dak Prescott's going to have to do his best. He's their best running back. He's their tailback. But I think it's going to be about the matchups on the outside. DeRunyon Wilson's 6'5", big-time playmaker. He can go up and get contested balls. You know Alabama is going to play man coverage in the secondary. Dak Prescott has to be willing to do this. Throw the ball up, let his receivers make plays. And it's not just DeRunyon Wilson, it's also Fred Ross, another guy, 6'2", good size on the outside, really good with the ball in his hands, really good in space. You have to be able to spread this Alabama defense out and run it. And you can see after the catch, Ross can do that. So, Kirk, it's going to be to me about Dak Prescott's throwing ability. He is so much better at throwing the football in the pocket than he was a year ago. He's going to need every single ounce of that against Alabama defense.
Who do you like here, big fella?
I like Alabama. I think Mississippi State will hang around, but just I don't know how they block them. I did the game last week against Missouri. The offensive line for Mississippi State is just kind of, yeah.
This is going to be a bigger test for Alabama because of the tempo, because of the quarterback that runs a spread. He can run and he can throw. It's going to be tough to run the football between the tackles, and you just showed a lot of ways that Dak Prescott's going to try to move the football. The first is, if he gets the numbers right, they've got to be able to take advantage with him being the tailback. Follow those blocks, pick up 6-7 yards at a time. It's a game that you did last week. David saw him run the ball when he needed to. The other thing is when the numbers are right on the outside, you know, these run-pass options, get the ball into the boundary to Fred Ross, who has the ability to make people miss and can run away from them. Again, quickness, being able to win matchups on the perimeter against Alabama. There's one way to try to attack them. It's that. And then, David, you talked about Wilson. I think the back shoulder fade, Prescott throws that ball as well as anybody. It's a concern for every defense, especially when you play a ton of man-to-man. And that's what I think the Alabama corners are going to be tested with. Dak Prescott's ability to run, create the space, and also those back shoulder fades. When you play so much man, especially in the red zone, you start thinking downfield fade, and that ball's coming back. So Nick Saban's as good as there is with Kirby Smart at getting their corners ready. I'm interested in what you're going to say here, but I'm going to go with Alabama.
Okay.
Alabama's going to win this game, and it's going to be convincing in the second half.
This is a huge trap game for Alabama. After a great effort against LSU, they're bound to be at risk in Stark Vegas. This Dak Prescott is a great player. He can run and throw from the spread offense. Listen, State takes him into the fourth quarter, and State has not allowed a touchdown in the fourth quarter. The only SEC team to do this. State upsets Alabama, especially in the fourth quarter.
How about that? Calling your shot.
Yeah.
You're calling your shot.
In fourth quarter.
Whoa.
That's right.
That would be popular
I got Alabama in this game. I think that Man, that's really
Yeah.
Bulldogs. I don't think they're going to be able to move the ball as effectively as you think. I think if Alabama's defense, the one that came out a week ago as LSU, if they come out and play the way they play, there's not a team in the college football world that can move the ball on that defense. They were as dominant as a unit as you ever see all year. I think offensively with Jake Coker, to me the key is to make him throw the ball. He has to try to beat you with his arm. If they can do that, you're not going to stop Derrick Henry, but if you can contain him and get them behind the chains and then make Coker got to make some throws throughout the game, then I think you have a chance. In my opinion, Alabama wins this game by double digits.
You're big double digits.
LSU played him in a phone booth. Mississippi State's going to try to stretch him.
Absolutely.
That's big difference this week for them.
And they have different personnel for that, too, though.
Yeah, they better.
Very versatile in their front seven, Alabama. There's a couple of milestones in this game. If Dak Prescott can run for a couple of touchdowns, he'll be only the 11th player in history to run for 40 touchdowns and throw for 40. Derrick Henry has a shot at an SEC record with his 15th straight rushing touchdown game that would break Tim Tebow's record. And also of note, Mississippi State's Jamal Peters is going to wear Keith Joseph's number for the game to honor his teammate who was tragically killed in a car accident last week. So that will be a motivational situation for Mississippi State for sure. Tonight in Baton Rouge, it is the battle for the boot. Arkansas and LSU. Bayou Bengals trying to bounce back. You know what? Brandon Allen at Arkansas is playing as well or better than any quarterback in the SEC. The Hogs are averaging 44 a game in regulation during their 3-game winning streak. Allen had the 2-pointer to beat Ole Miss. Fournette was shut down by Arkansas last year. Even worse in Alabama. Holly Rowe is with the hat.
Well, Coach, you're coming off a loss to Alabama. What hangover effect, if any, have you seen this week, and how have you moved forward?
Our guys have enjoyed practice, the feeling of preparation and looking forward to playing a very quality opponent. It's easy to turn your attentions to the next one.
You've had a great record here, 27-2 in games after a loss. But those 2 losses have both been to Arkansas. So what's the biggest challenge you face against them?
Yeah, I don't know there's anything specific other than some very quality teams that we've played, but I think our team has turned their attentions very quickly to this opponent, and we'll look forward to playing them.
Last quick question: you let Leonard Fournette speak to the team Thursday night as a leader of this group. What was his message?
Well, I also let 8 or 9 other guys that are part of our Unity Council, but the message overall was, we need to start again this Saturday night.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Fournette hoping to get it turned around after Alabama shut him down, holding him to 1.6 yards per carry. It was a year ago against Arkansas. He only had 5 carries, 9 yards. They pulled him out, said he wasn't running hard enough. Leonard will be motivated. Arkansas give him trouble tonight?
They do. I think Brandon Allen playing better, gives them some balance, but I think it's another bad timing award for Arkansas. Leonard Fournette, all the negative talk after the way he played against Alabama, I expect him to explode, play big tonight.
So if Arkansas is in doubt, just throw the ball backwards. Throwing the ball backwards in order for them to beat Ole Miss.
I can't believe that.
That might have topped them all.
Where were you when that play happened?
Yeah. You know what Baylor does? Baylor throws the ball forward. And many times they look for number 1, Corey Coleman, as Tom Rinaldi's back with us, Tom.
Well, Reese, still ahead on College Game Day from Waco. The numbers are certainly impressive for Baylor's Corey Coleman, but they don't begin to cover the route that he has run, all the way from a tough beginning into the Baylor record books and even more into the Heisman conversation.
When you take the route I took, you struggle and stuff like that, it makes you a better man and a better person overall. I wouldn't want to take any other route, to be honest.
Inside an hour till things get started. Look at that, Baker Mayfield. Tribute to him with a Baker's hat.
Whoa.
And now you understand why for 150 years there was no dancing on this campus.
They're awake just like the Big 12 schedule, waking up in November.
Yes, sir.
Wake me up when September and October end. In the Big 12, this is when all the marquee stuff happens in the month of November. But Baylor puts up huge numbers in any month. Lately, when they've seen Oklahoma, who does this to the Sooners? Last 4 years, 42 points per game, over 500 yards, big plays galore, and a huge percentage of touchdowns. And guiding the attack tonight will be the freshman Jarrett Stidham. Among 22 freshmen who started, has the highest QBR. Spent last weekend deer hunting. He's unflappable. Art Briles told us great practice on Thursday. You know how you have a great practice? Have yourself a great receiver. Corey Coleman, 6 touchdowns away from the Big 12 record, 7 away from Troy Edwards' FBS record of 27. Coleman, this guy does not let press coverage or real-life pressure knock him off his route in any way, Tom Rinaldi.
Well, Reese, that route started for Corey Coleman by playing football out in the streets of Dallas, near the intersection of Bonnie and Ledbetter. His mother would try to stop him, afraid that he would get hurt. She couldn't. She found her son's determination to follow a path she worked to create. For a receiver, the goal of every route is the same: separation. For Corey Coleman, it's never been that simple.
When you take the route I took, it makes you a better man and a better person overall. I wouldn't want to take any other route, really, to be honest.
This is where the path started. Growing up with his mother and 2 sisters in the Highland Hills Project in the Oak Cliff section of Dallas.
The roughest part of Dallas. You don't want your kids to see some of the stuff that goes on.
Gunshots. It was a lot of that going on. Not a place where you want to raise your kids.
With Coleman's father in and out of jail, his mother played both roles, worked 2 jobs, and moved the family 4 times before her son was 9 years old, all with one goal.
I just knew that it was somewhere out there that was a better place for my kids. And I was going to get out.
My mom, the lady's so strong, could easily gave up, and she definitely, did the right thing, because I felt like if I would have stayed there, I would have went down the wrong path or would have took the wrong route.
Through all the change, football was a constant for Coleman. When he moved to the Dallas suburb of Richardson in 6th grade, his path intersected with the man who would change his life.
I saw myself in him because I'm from Highland Hills. We lived in literally the same projects he lived in. It was like a mirror image.
Ray Crockett, a 2-time Super Bowl champion who played 14 years in the NFL, would become Coleman's track and basketball coach and eventually his godfather, a man he'd refer to as Pops.
I basically moved in with Ray, and he really took me in like his son. Living with him, big old mansion. I said, I want to live like this one day.
I wanted to show him that this is possible. The positives of life, the college education is possible. Getting your mom out of that situation is possible.
When it came time for Coleman's path to college, he ended up at a school Crockett knew well, the one he played for.
He's like, Pops, I'm going to Baylor. I was like, good choice. With that offense and Corey's skill set, he was going to be successful.
Corey Coleman's got himself another touchdown.
Over the shoulder catch by Coleman. He's going to take it in the end zone.
The most explosive guy I've seen on the field all season long in college football.
A junior, Coleman is on pace to break the FBS record for touchdowns in a single season and is in clear Heisman contention. There has been separation, but also connection on a route few could have covered.
In Corey's eyes, because I've heard him say it, from hell to heaven.
It's incredible. The route he's taking. He's doing everything the right way.
I wouldn't want it any other way, you know. Long journey, but worth it all.
You can't manufacture that kind of hunger or determination, Desmond. I saw you locked in on that story with admiration. Ray Crockett, somebody you knew who helped him. You know something about having a magical season and building a Heisman candidacy. What do you see in Corey Coleman? I know he impresses you.
Well, you know, Tom, they say real recognizes real. And to my eyes, that kid looks very familiar. He's an incredible competitor. He has great hand-eye coordination. Watch this play right here. He has a 40-inch vertical, but watch how he goes up and takes that ball off the defender's helmet. I mean, the kid goes out there, competes hard, only 5'10", but plays much bigger. Now watch this basic slant move. He's going to plant that left foot, take a great angle, one-on-one coverage. You're not going to stop Coleman, but this stop and go is just filthy McNasty. I mean, you can't see guys do that. That's utterly ridiculous. You can't teach that. That's a God-given talent. And here he is again. Now he's going to run a sluggo, a slant and go. He fools the cornerback. The cornerback's locked in on the quarterback, but the safety over the top, he has the body control of a gymnast. Look at how eloquent he is in the air. Great hand skills. He's going to catch everything you throw in his direction. I mean, this guy is a treat to watch. If he plays big tonight on this stage, there's no doubt he'll be in the Heisman race.
Real recognizes real.
Yes,
I like that. Reese, talking to Ray Crockett, he said that at any level, Corey never starts out the best. Not in track, not in basketball. He works his way there, and that's what he's done here at Baylor. Impressive.
He's been the best in terms of putting up numbers, Tom, and now Baylor's starting to launch a little Heisman campaign for him. You see, receivers are Heisman candidates too, with 20 freaking TDs. They can change that a little bit, but you know what? Among those 20 freaking TDs, none of them have come against a team with a winning record. But that could change tonight because they take on Oklahoma, and Oklahoma is definitely somebody different from the team that lost to Texas. An attitude that has changed behind a rushing attack that has pretty much doubled. They lead the nation since the Texas game in rushing touchdowns, and in resurgence.
Beginning of the year, we knew what we were capable of, and we went into the Texas game. I think we came in there not focused. It kind of woke us up to pay attention to the details and get all the little things right.
The communication's better, technique's better. We've done a much better job here in the last several weeks of performing and playing at a high level.
Their defense will be tested. We've got big, strong, fast guys that are aggressive. We've got receivers that are fast.
You have to commit people to the run game, but then they space you out with such speed and talented receivers that they stretch you.
Corey Coleman, you got to know where he is at all times. I think he's the best receiver in college football.
He can probably run through you before he runs past you and chooses to run past you.
I mean, he's talented, first and foremost. I mean, you can want to do well, but if you don't have the ability to back it up to do well, then it doesn't make any difference. He's just a tough guy.
Baylor offense has given the Oklahoma defense all kind of trouble. Sooners will be helped by having Zach Sanchez back, but you know, the personnel hasn't mattered. They've been cut to pieces by this Baylor offense.
They've been shredding them, and they do it to a lot of people. But I think if you're going to play zone coverage against Baylor, it's going to be a long night, and this is the difficulty of it. You want to play zone coverage with your safeties back deep. You want to play 3 deep. Watch what the stress this puts on your safeties. And this is Stidham, again, a true freshman. But look at the safeties and how much ground they have to cover. They're in the middle of the field, right? Well, you got track stars all over the place. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to pick? All you got to do is manipulate them with your eyes a little bit. And here you go, that's a little bit different. You've seen these splits for years. Tight splits, 2 guys that can really run. What are you going to do as a safety? Good luck. You want to take the one inside, you want to take the one outside. And then when they do get it there, you saw Coleman and his ability to go up and make plays. So this is what Oklahoma's going to have to deal with. They have to get physical at the line of scrimmage. You have to be willing to play man coverage. You saw West Virginia beat Baylor a year ago. It's because they took chances. They played zero coverage. If Oklahoma wants to stop this offense, they're going to have to do that tonight.
Oklahoma, to win this game, must disturb, harass, pressure, and mentally get to freshman quarterback Jared Stidham and force turnovers. That's what they're going to do. Now, the defensive end, number 91, Charles Tepper. Watch this guy. He's had 5 sacks in the last 2 weeks. He's tough for it. And now, Eric Stricker, number 18. Watch him come from the outside. Watch him boom. That's what they got to do.
That's quick.
Then they got to get Zach Sanchez to blitz from the secondary. A corner blitz. Watch this. Coming hard. Boom. There he goes. Get him. Got it. He got him. Wonderful. Now, Oklahoma is number 1 in the Big 12 in every major category. But they have not seen an offense like Baylor.
Right.
I'm looking forward, weather permitting, to a real shootout tonight.
Well, I think Oklahoma feels better about this year's matchup compared to the last two, not just because of the defense. Really, it's more about the offense. Now, this is an offense that was cranking until they faced Texas, and then they got embarrassed against Texas, and they made some adjustments. They're going with more tempo, made a few adjustments up on the offensive line, so they're running the football better with Perine. It was the first half of the season, we were wondering where Perine was after the way he played last year. He has been on fire. They've averaged 295 yards since the Texas game on the ground. But this is the key, I think, to me. If OU's going to compete, it's Baker Mayfield. Here he shows the patience, allows the safety to kind of work himself out of the middle of the field, and then he's got a nice throw to be able to throw for a touchdown there to D.D. Westbrook and one-on-one matchup on the outside. And here's the X factor. He's not a guy that you build your offense around because he can run, but he recognizes man-to-man coverage here. It opens up the middle of the field, and then he's able to take off and pick up some big yards and eventually get into the end zone. He's going to have to create at some point tonight against this Baylor defense that is especially athletic on the defensive line. So if there's a difference for Oklahoma, they made a lot of changes from last year to this year on the offensive staff. Lincoln Riley now comes in to be the coordinator of this offense. You have Baker Mayfield. You have the two backs in Mixon and Perine, and they've got better receivers. It's not just Sterling Shepard. Shepard's going to have to be a factor, but they're going to have to get their other receivers involved tonight.
So, you've heard all the build-up. Your pick. Who wins the game, Baylor or Oklahoma?
I love watching Baker Mayfield. He does make plays. He's tough. But when I look at this matchup, here's the thing I think is going to be the difference. Billings on the inside for Baylor is a grown man. You won't see number 75. People don't pay attention to him that much. He'll make enough plays. They'll get enough stops to give Baylor the ball back. With this crowd at home, I think Baylor finds a way to get it done.
Popular pick. Billings has been a little nicked up as well. They hope he'll be healthy and ready to go. Now the Bears over at the Pizza Hut tent for this week's sign up for game day winners. Bear, what do you have in this game?
Got a lot of company down here. It's great. I like the wittiness down here to my right, and someone equal opportunity in both sides. Someone killing the Heisman Trophy winner for a couple of years.
RG3, huh?
Well, last week we were pretty close there at that score of the sign here, and Alabama LSU got the win. This week, we'll go with the home team again. I think Oklahoma's defense is better, but until they can stop Baylor, I can't pick the Sooners. I like Baylor by 10.
Wow. Right. Bear was strong last week.
The Bears got to go with the Bears, right?
I think so.
Obviously.
Disrespect.
Second straight week with the home favorite. The guy that's coming home courtesy of Wheels Up, flying in, Jeff Dunham, the comedian, one of the top comics in the country. What is he bringing with him? He may have a friend that shows up to help him with some of his picks. Jeff Dunham, our celebrity guest picker. You know what? You're going to get it for free. I noticed on cable you have to get pay-per-view if you're going to watch Jeff Dunham at home. You get him for free here.
That's right.
The price of cable. Texas and West Virginia, that is coming up on ESPNU, less than 28 minutes away. Malik Jefferson, one of the young stars on Charlie Strong's defense as they try to get bowl eligible or closer to it. Number 3, Ohio State at noon on ABC. J.T. Barrett back from his one-game suspension. Urban sounding as if he will go the entire way. Not expecting to see Cardale Jones. Ohio State and Michigan State next week. Connor Cook coming off the loss to Nebraska. Now here comes old Maryland. Maryland doesn't get him in the snake pit. They have to go to the banks of the Red Cedar. 27.5 minutes away from ESPN2. And following us, noon Eastern time, Pharaoh Cooper against a depleted Gator defense. Should Florida be careful? Let's take a look at this week's strong performance brought to you by AT&T. We have a strong performance for J.T. Barrett to get back into the starting lineup for the Buckeyes. They're serving a 1-week suspension or an OVI citation. Barrett back as the starting quarterback, and he is the one that Urban Meyer says he expects to go the entire way. QBR rating, remember, this is on a scale of 1 to 100, 100 pretty much being perfect. J.T. Barrett has been exceptional. Only Deshaun Watson has a higher QBR over the last 2 seasons. Now, you know, we've talked quarterbacks and shuffling and back and forth. Here's the man.
Number 15, right?
Get the ball to 15.
Exactly.
14 straight games. Zeke Elliott's had 100 yards rushing or more. He's a very quiet Heisman candidate. He's going to have his opportunities. Ohio State taking on Illinois on ABC, top of the hour. Urban is with Todd McShay.
Coach, your starting quarterback, J.T. Barrett, coming off the one-game suspension. How has he responded this week?
Oh, very well. He's a leader of our team, and I think he's very humbled and took it real hard. But our team absorbed him back and welcomed him back, and let's go. It's November. Let's go play for one.
Illinois defensively much improved from a year ago. Jihad Ward, it really sets the tone up front for the defense, very physical. What challenges do they present your offense?
Size. They're real big, and they're real coach. There's always a +1 defender near the – and, a quarterback run helps that, but still they're always going to be a +1. And so we got to get Zeke loose somehow, and we got to hit when they force us to take a shot over the top. We got to hit it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
I know it's early in Champaign, but plenty of good seats available. You're just driving around. We'll go fill up those end zone seats. Come on in. Here's J.T. Barrett.
Yeah, and for Ohio State, it's not just J.T. Barrett's back in the lineup. It's about Michigan State and Michigan coming up, and they need to be able to get their rhythm back where they were when they played against Rutgers when he won that starting job before being suspended for the game last week against Minnesota. And, Cardell Jones is, we've talked a lot on this set about what it's done to the mindset of these two guys. I think they've handled it about as good as they can, but Jones is back in the backup role. And, again, J.T. Barrett looks to try to get it going, and he's going to involve as many of his receivers as he can. Braxton Miller last week, looks like he's going to be okay and able to go. Again, the athletic ability on the perimeter, big advantage for Ohio State today against Illinois.
How about Big Joey Bosa out there, the defensive lineman? A year ago, he was one of the most dominating defensive linemen in the country. Still quietly having a pretty good year. I don't think he's had any big signature plays yet, but he's still a force to be reckoned with. He's a guy who receives extra attention. When you get your scouting report, big number is 97. There's a big red circle around his name. And Darren Lee, outstanding linebacker, fast guy, really good east to west, sideline to sideline. He's going to be a factor in today's game too, Herbie.
Yeah, he's not been able to put quite the numbers up. People haven't really gone his way and challenged him. And they've challenged Raekwon McMillan in the middle, and he leads the team in tackles, has done a really good job of kind of being the anchor in the middle of this unit. And you're right about Bosa hasn't had the chance. They've double-teamed him, sometimes triple-teamed him. But I think one thing about Urban Meyer, that, as he said when he was talking to Todd, it's November. And there's a little bit more urgency from Urban Meyer the way he coaches his team. And they need to start seeing it. We talked earlier about how important it is for Ohio State to start to look better. Wes Lunt, the transfer, has done a nice job of big playability with Illinois. They've got some skill that can challenge Ohio State on the edge. And Lunt, if he's given time today, can definitely spin it. He can throw the football around.
Former Oklahoma State quarterback now leading the Illini. Coming up on ESPN2, top of the hour, Connor Cook and the Spartans taking on Maryland. Of course, Michigan State knocked from the ranks of the unbeaten a week ago by Nebraska. What about the unis? Connor Cook's rocking there. We got a lot of green on green.
Yeah, looks like the Jets the other night.
Yeah, that was
a hard look.
Yeah.
Looking like
this is a better look than that.
Looking like
better
Eastern
shape.
Michigan.
Yeah, to me, for Michigan State with Ohio State next week and with the way they lost in Lincoln, this is about showing maturity and being able to handle the situation that they went through last year or last week, and now they're playing a team, Maryland, it's hard to get excited about.
Right.
They cannot be peeking ahead and thinking about the game in Columbus next week. They need to take care of business, which I expect them to do. Dino will get them ready, have them locked in, ready to play today.
Under 20 minutes away from kickoff in East Lansing between Maryland and Michigan State on ESPN2. On ESPN, following us, it'll be Florida and South Carolina. Now, Jonathan Bullard, not expecting him to go, but he's dressed. You never know. Sometimes that adrenaline gets pumping, and now I'm just told he's not going to play. So Gators already have the SEC East wrapped up, but he's all
just brought him out there to scare the Gamecocks.
Yeah, football doctor scaring him out with Jim McElwain.
After the celebration of winning the SEC East Division title last Saturday, some say this sets up as a perfect trap game for the Gators. How challenging was it for you to get your players to focus on South Carolina this week?
Well, I think first and foremost, I don't think anybody thought we'd be in this position anyway, so I don't know what a trap it is, but hopefully we can come out and give these guys a ball game. I know our guys are excited to be here, and it should be a lot of fun.
Just like a beauty pageant, this time of year, college football is all about impressing the judges. So how much consideration do you give from here on out to trying to win each game convincingly?
Well, we aren't at that point as a program, but I will tell you this. Our guys will come out and play their tails off, and we've got a real good football team, and these guys play hard, and hopefully we can just come out on the front end of that scoreboard up there, and you know what? You win out, you take care of it.
Hey, Coach, again, congratulations on last week, and thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Doc, Jim, thanks a lot. Here's the guy who will be in the middle of that Gator defense, Antonio Morrison.
Yeah, and even though they've got some injuries, their defense still is so talented. And the way South Carolina's struggled this year, you would think if they're focused and they're emotionally, they're going to be able to take care of business today. But you got to respect South Carolina. They've not given up. And Treon Harris and this offense from Florida has struggled enough to. If I'm a Gamecock defender, I'm thinking, you know what? We're at home, and against Treon Harris, we can compete. We can pull off an upset today.
Question is, what does Florida have to play for?
Yes,
that's the big question in my mind.
Yeah.
Last week, Florida was able to pull one out late against Vanderbilt, winning only 9-7. Now South Carolina, they're trying to help Sean Elliott get consideration for the head coaching job on a permanent basis. There's Antonio Callaway. He seems to come up with a big play when the Gators need it the most. This team will try to maintain their record. But, with the depleted Florida defense, and Pharaoh Cooper the last couple of games has been very quiet. South Carolina's best opportunity would be to get him started.
Got to get number 11 to football, without a doubt. It'd be fun to watch him matched up against Vernon Hargraves, one of the best corners in the country. South Carolina, offensively, since Steve Spurrier has left with Sean Elliott, they've won a game against Vandy. They've been in 2 other games. It's not as if they've just given up on their season. So I think they'll fight Florida today. They'll play hard today.
Kickoff just about 16 minutes away. It follows us here on College Game Day, Florida and South Carolina. On ESPNU, also starting at the top of the hour, here's Hookem. I thought that would get a reaction from the Baylor fans behind us. Charlie Strong's team has not played well on the road. Morgantown is a very difficult place to play. They'll need a big game from the youngster Gerard Hurd.
Charlie looked like he got his curls in this morning on the way into the stadium.
You ain't kidding. Woo-wee.
Got the shrugs in, too.
That shirt was fitted.
If you got it, flaunt it, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. How are you going to do it? No doubt. Hurd put up numbers against Kansas. A lot of people have. He is a star of the future. So, too, on the other side of the ball is Malik Jefferson. He's second on the team with 48 tackles. West Virginia showed a bit of a propensity to turn the football over. Texas will need to do that in this game. Oh, look at the lids that West Virginia's rocking. There's Skylar Howard. Howard's had some problems with turnovers, but this West Virginia team is capable, and at home sometimes.
Especially at home in Morgantown, yep.
Even a little bit more energy from the Mountaineers as they try to move their way above 500 and perhaps being a bowl-eligible team. Coach has donned the Oklahoma headgear 14 times in the past, but will he do it on the banks of the Brazos right in front of these rabid Baylor fans? We're closing in on headgear time, and Jeff Dunham, comic extraordinaire, will come up here, and he's bringing a suitcase that I suspect, given his act, has a friend inside to help him out with the picks. And look at the food coming our way, courtesy of VTEX Barbecue. Oh, there's some protein and some sweets for Des.
All right.
Right to Des.
Got a little thing of, oh, man. What's that?
Wow.
College Game Day is built by the Home Depot. You can find grills, charcoal, coolers, and all other tailgating supplies at your local Home Depot. And in part by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Our eye in the sky is provided by Goodyear. Kick off your drive with tires that return superior performance. Goodyear is more driven. We're driven to find a winner in the Superdogs, at least for me. Kurt, give me a winning Superdog if you can. Bear Dog going to win.
Bear brought this one to my attention, and I agree with him. I think with Carew back, Rutgers at home could give Nebraska all they could handle because of the athletic ability. Out on the edge, Nebraska coming off a big win. Huskers better be careful going to Piscataway today.
I was going to go K-State over Texas Tech, but I'm going to leave Coach Hanson's team alone. I think Purdue, they may have a chance to beat Northwestern. The Wildcats quarterback Clayton Thurston was hurt a week ago. He's expected to play, but you don't know what you're going to get out of him. They got to make sure, Coach, that they don't turn the ball over.
How about Pittsburgh over Duke? Now, Duke gave up 66 points against North Carolina, and Pitt played Notre Dame real tough. I'm going Pitt to upset North Carolina.
Let's get Reese.
Come on, Reese. Let's go, Reese. Let's go. Come on, Reese. I'm going with Hook'em. They're getting 8.5 against West Virginia. Texas is 4-1 when it wins the turnover battle this year, and West Virginia has lost the turnover battle 5 straight games.
Poor Texas.
I know it.
I thought they had a chance.
Kiss of death. Saturday selections are brought to you by Chevrolet. I'm sorry, Texas. It's nothing personal. I need him to step up, though.
He's worse than I am.
I'll tell you what. Look who's with us is our celebrity guest picker. Jeff Dunham, a favorite son of Baylor, one of the top comics in the country, wildly popular, filling up places everywhere he goes, pay-per-view specials on cable or satellite provider, and most pleased to have Jeff Dunham and a friend,
Walter.
Jeff. Walter, hello, Walter.
How you doing, Reese? Good to see you tonight. Reese, you're doing a great job. I don't care what Fowler says. You're doing a fine job. It's good to be here with Lee. Lee, I got in the suitcase. They let you out of the home. It's very nice. Oh, man. Wow. Yeah. And I got to tell you, Desmond, I tell you what, you're quite a guy. One of 4 guys that won the Heisman, the MVP in the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
And now this? What the hell? I mean, even MC Hammer's going, dude, what happened?
Can't touch
I got
this.
nothing for you.
Thank you.
Good. Nothing for Herbie, huh?
We're going to get a little taste of what Walter's going to bring for us. But to start with the picks, let's start with Miami, Carolina.
I'm going to run through this one because I want to hear Walter again. I got North Carolina. I don't think Miami has anything for North Carolina's offense. North Carolina big over the Hurricanes.
Okay, you want to ask me now? It's my turn now. Okay, here's what I think. My turn? Go ahead. All right, North Carolina's a better record, favored by 12.5. Quarterback, a 5th-year quarterback, that I tell you. The Miami Hurricanes are more like the Miami light showers with some wind. You know what I'm saying? So even though the Tar Heels sound like a feet fungus that Kirk might have, we're going with North Carolina. That's what we think.
Pick, Walter.
Thank you. Thanks, Lee.
I mean, North Carolina. Walter picks him. I pick him.
That is freaky. I got North Carolina.
Exactly. Get back to Walter, for real.
Yeah, I just want to hear that.
Wait a minute. What's freaky, Kirk? I feel the same way when you talk, Kirk. Like, how does that happen? You know?
I kind of get mesmerized by the spikes coming out of the nose here.
Looks like Feinbaum over here.
Georgia, this is your you got Feinbaum.
Yeah. Georgia Auburn.
You got Paul on your lap. I got Auburn.
All right, Auburn. Let's see. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's see. No, notes. Okay, the last time I picked a team to win in Georgia, I lost. So that was a Civil War reenactment. You know what I mean? Lee, you remember the Civil War, don't you? Yeah. I mean, General Lee was your younger brother. So Auburn is favored, and I know they just beat Texas, but we like Georgia's coach, and they had a tougher schedule. But most importantly, my wife's family is from Auburn, so we're going with Georgia.
Oh, great. I got a cousin from Auburn. Auburn.
I got Auburn.
Walter, if you don't mind, I need you to pick up the pace a little bit. We got games to go here.
Like that's my frickin' fault.
You're the one dominating the clock. Alabama, Mississippi State.
I got Alabama big too, by double digits. Alabama.
Okay, well, you know, Alabama's mascot is the elephant. We all know the elephant is native to Alabama, so that makes sense. However, Sadan, he's a good-looking old guy like me and Lee. However, Sadan has hair that reminds me of the car salesman. He's like the Donald Trump of sports. You know what I'm saying? So we're going with Mississippi. That's our upset.
Great.
Wow.
That's our upset.
Wow.
Hey, it's my upset special, too. Nice going, Walter.
I like you, Lee.
Yeah, I like you, too, Walter. Mississippi State upsets number 2 Alabama.
I'm going to Alabama.
Oh, okay.
You guys are crazy.
All right, Floyd of Rosedale, Minnesota and Iowa. Who wins it?
I think Minnesota is going to come out strong, but I have Iowa pulling away late. I got the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, whatever. All right, so Iowa, team that's ranked number 5. They could have the 10-0 start in the school's history, first century. So, I don't know. Because it's the same name as the guy in the old TV show Nash, we're going with the Hawkeyes.
Oh, good.
There we go.
Good pick. I'll take. There's no time for me. Iowa.
Me either. I'm going to go with Iowa. Des, you're right. Minnesota hang around, but I like Iowa to win.
And what about Michigan and Indiana? Indiana's held close at home against some good teams.
I think this is a tricky game for the Wolverines, but I do think they will beat Indiana with their defense. And one of the guys we're not talking about, Jabril Peppers, is really putting together a fantastic season.
Okay, let's see. Even though Michigan's Wolverine looks nothing like the Wolverine from X-Men, they do have Harbaugh's strategy of flipping out and being completely nuts is actually working. So sorry, Indiana, but today Hoosier rhymes with loser. I'm going with Michigan.
Michigan, another pick. Good pick.
Thank you, Lee.
Walter.
Michigan. I'm going with you and Walter. I got Michigan, too.
All right. Good.
So we got a lot of Michigan picks. All right, let's go to Pac-12 now. Oregon and Stanford. Ducks got a little something for the Cardinal.
They do. I think they're going to come out there and compete hard. They're going to score some points, but I think Stanford is going to win this game. A high-scoring game, but Stanford's going to pull away.
I just never can figure out why Stanford picked a tree to be their mascot. That makes no sense.
Me neither.
Yeah, okay. The Pete is going to be upset, but I think there's going to be a horrible accident. The trees are going to crush the Ducks. That's what I'm saying. That was like a joke.
What do you got? Who's playing? I forgot.
Oregon and Stanford.
You got Stanford. I'm going to go with. I'll go with you. I'm going with the trees. I get a close game.
You know, you realize if Jeff put his hand behind Lee, it looked like he had twin dummies. You know. Sorry. Hey, you skipped Houston and then.
That's because you keep taking all the time.
I had a good joke about the Tigers and the Cougars.
Oklahoma Baylor at this point.
Listen, the Tigers and the Cougars, that sounds like a web dating site that Lee goes to.
Oh, man.
You never miss the opportunity for a great joke, Walter. All right, Utah, Arizona.
In the words of Joe Pesci, the Utes.
Okay, well, you know, let's see. There's a lot of Mormons in Utah, and Jeff is a moron, so we're going with the Utes.
Okay, I go with Utah.
I'm going with Utah. I said it.
I said Utah. All right, Utah and Arizona. And, of course, the game that everybody's waiting for is right here. Robert Griffin III has a statue. His touchdown pass to beat Oklahoma in his Heisman-winning season made Baylor believe that they didn't have to roll over like a Ronda Rousey opponent every time the Sooner schooner came rolling in. And Baylor has dominated this matchup in the last couple of games, beating them by 63 the last 2 years. Sooners would love to turn that around tonight.
At the beginning of the year, we knew our toughest 3 games were at the end of the year. Call it Championship November.
Obviously, we understand it's the 3-game stretch is real serious, but we're going to focus on Baylor this week and prepare for them.
We know that there's a lot of things out there in front of us. We know we're going to have to peak late, and it's peak time. And these guys know how to win. They've won a bunch of football games.
We've got everything to prove by going out to try to win this game. Our worst day has to be better than their best day.
When we break a huddle, we're not saying go 8-0. We're saying Big 12 champs.
We could talk about schemes and all this and picking this apart, but who wants it the most will definitely win this game.
All right, Kirk's calling the game with Fowler and Heather Cox tonight on ABC. He won't make a pick. You can. Oklahoma or Baylor?
I think that Jarrett Stidham is going to come out and play strong. He's going to play well. I think that Corey Coleman is going to have a magnificent game. I'm going Baylor Bears.
Oh, good.
Come on, they got the best offense in college football. You got Stidham. It's his second start, but he did great the first time. So what do you think, Walter?
Oh, we're going with Baylor, of course.
Great. Good pick. Walter, here.
Oh,
for
thanks.
you.
Oh, thanks.
Wow. How about that?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, look good.
Go,
Yeah.
Walter.
Yeah, look good. Thanks a lot.
Listen, last time I was in Waco, I picked against Baylor, and they lost. I lost. I really don't want to do it again, but picking Oklahoma is so much fun. Yeah. But this is strictly business. Baylor.
Hey,
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm just glad to see Coach and Walter making up I was afraid Coach was going to turn him into firewood after some of those stats. Thanks to Jeff Dunham.
My pleasure.
And to Walter. Hey, that's a new headgear. Is that right?
Walter.
New headgear. First time Coach Corso has picked Baylor. So we'll see if it comes true tonight. Coach needs to turn things around with the headgear pick. Maybe Walter's his good luck charm.
I think so.
Mike Patrick, Ed Cunningham coming your way with the call. Florida and South Carolina coming up in a matter of moments. Baylor and Oklahoma on ABC tonight. Enjoy your college football Saturday.